Hello everyone and welcome to this video tutorial where I'm going to be walking you step by step on how to create an online course website. So if you're a teacher, a course creator, or an instructor, or any other niche related to this, and you want to have a website where you can upload your courses and people can come onto the platform to take some of those courses, either paid or free. All right, so this is going to be a walkthrough and the video is very loaded. You are going to be learning a whole lot of things from this video. So before I give you a glimpse of some of the things we are going to be covering in this video, if you are new to the channel or you are yet to subscribe, kindly go ahead right now and click on that subscribe button to subscribe to the channel. All right, so thank you very much if you have just done that. So let me give you a glimpse of what we are going to be covering in this video. So here is a sample of what we are going to be making reference with. Like you can see, this is an online course website, and this particular one is for a single instructor. That means maybe you want to be the only one that will be uploading courses on the platform. All right, so if you look at this section here, this is the hero section. Now the aim of this video is to walk you through how to create an online course website, and with the knowledge you're going to be getting in this video, you can use it to create just any kind of online course websites, all right, across various niches, across various industry. All right, and I also want to mention that even if you don't want to use this concept or this design, with the knowledge you're going to be acquiring in this video, you're going to be able to create different concepts, come up with new designs, and then layouts that will still offer online course teaching. All right, that will still be suitable for taking online courses. All right, so if you look at here now, since we are focusing on a single instructor kind of online course website where you want to be uploading just your own course. Now, if you also want to be uploading courses from other people, where other people can also come on your website to upload their courses, all right, it is also possible. All right, so I'll be walking you through all of this in the course of this video. All right, so you can see we have this section where you can have your photograph right here. You can have a bit information about you. We have this read more button that you can link to your about page, okay, or maybe your portfolio page. So here is the course place section. You can see popular courses and you can have your list of courses show up here. Now this is showing us 4 courses. You can decide to set yours to be maybe 3 column, 2 rows, whichever way you want to do it. I know you can also have different layouts for how these courses are going to display on your screen. Okay, you can see this view all will take you to the course page, and then we have some other sections that to convince your students or visitors of your website why they need to pick your course. You can see 900 learners, 800 graduates, that's 5. This could be some random information or maybe a correct information that you can showcase. You can see the learning objective here. We have all of this section, why choose me, and then we have all of this learn more. All right, so if you want to have a section like this where you can have this is blog, podcast, and video. Maybe you also want to have a blog section on your online course website. You can use this to link it to your blog. Maybe if you also do podcast, you can have this link to your podcast platform. If you do your video, maybe YouTube or any other platform, you can have this link. And maybe you don't even want this section, you can easily take it out. All of this I'm going to be walking you through. And then this is a testimonial section. We have this subscribers section where people can put in their email. So if you want to if you're looking forward to generating leads, all right, this particular section will allow you to achieve that. And then some call to action here, trusted by over 6,000 students. So you can also change maybe you don't want to use 6,000, maybe you want to use a lower number or a higher number, you can also do that. And this is our footer. All right, so I'll walk you through how you can update the footer to your own information, or if you want to just tweak it around. All of these are what I'm going to be walking you through in the course of this video. Also, you're going to be learning how to set up everything. Since we are dealing with online course website, if you also want to be issuing certificates upon completion for your students, I'm also going to be walking you through how to do that, how to set up payments, how you can set up your own courses. If you want to create a course on your website, how do you go ahead to do all of those? These are some of the things we are going to be looking at in the course of this video. All right, so with that being said, again, if you are yet to subscribe, please go ahead right now and click on that subscribe button to subscribe to the channel. Also, because of the length of the video, I'm going to leave a timestamp, okay, in the description of this video, so that if there's any point in this video that you want to go back and watch while creating yours, you can also do that. And I'm also going to be sharing some helpful resources in the course of this video. Anyone that has a link, I'm going to be leaving a link to them in the description of this video so that you can also look at them. So with that being said, now let's go ahead and start creating our own online course website. For you to create any website, there are 2 things that you are going to need. All right, so basically we are going to need a domain name and hosting. All right, even if you are not creating online course website, just any website, you're going to need your domain name and your hosting. And when you mention your domain name is simply your website name. That's the word they are going to type in into their browser to be able to access your website. Take for example, if you want to access Facebook, you need to go to your browser and type in facebook.com. If you want to access Google, you need to go to your browser and type in google.com. So the .com, the .org, the .ca, .co, every other thing is what we refer to as your domain name. All right, so that's the first thing you're going to need. Now, the second thing you're going to need is hosting. Now, take this reference website as an example. Now, you see this background image, the text, the layout, this photograph and everything, they are being stored somewhere on the internet that makes it, they are being stored somewhere that makes it easy for people to be accessed the website over the internet. So where they are being stored is what we refer to as hosting, and you need to get one. All right, so to get this thing, there's a platform that comes highly recommendable, and if you are getting it from them, you're going to be getting as high as 85% discount and a free domain. All right, so to get your domain and hosting, so just come over to this website, akprosperblog.com/hosting, and then you'll be taken to this page. All right, so depending on when you are accessing this page, all right, the look might be different, okay, because they usually update their home page from time to time. However, but if you can see here, launch your website today with its 5% off. All right, so they are always giving you, definitely be getting a discount. So for you to get started, you can just press the start now button and it will take you where they have their pricing plan. Now if you're on the website and you can't really see this option of start now or something, just scroll down. You're definitely going to see where they are going to list out their pricing. All right, so the reason why I'm saying this is that they usually change their own page from time to time. All right, so once you're on this page, this is where you're going to get your hosting, and like I said, you're going to be getting a free domain. All right, so you can see they currently have 3 packages. We have the premium, the unlimited, and the cloud startup. Again, once you are here, and if you see that the names have changed, okay, because again, these are some updates they usually do. They can change the name to something else. All right, but most time the one that comes highly recommendable is the one that is in the middle. All right, and let's check out some of the features. For example, this is what I'll be recommending, the unlimited plan. Now, if you look at it, you can host unlimited websites with it. You get free domain free for 1 year. Now, this unlimited website, maybe after creating this website, you might want to create some other website, so you don't need to get a to purchase a domain. An hosting again rather. Okay, so you can still use the same hosting plan to host as many websites as possible, as long as you do not go beyond your storage limits. Okay, unlike here where you're going to be getting just 3 websites. Okay, and apart from that, you get more storage. All right, and then you get a list of all these features. So it comes highly recommendable for all kinds of websites. Either you are doing a business website, corporate website, e-commerce website, or just any website, you can still start on this plan. So if for any reason you need more space or you need more features or anything, then you can consider switching to the cloud startup. All right, you can just do an upgrade. Okay, so once you are here, just go ahead and click on choose plan. Next, you are going to be asked to select the period. Now, this period basically means how long do you want to purchase the hosting. Now, there is option of 48 months, 24 months, 12 months, and 1 month. All right. Now, remember I said you're going to be getting a free domain. You are going to be getting a free domain if you are picking either the 12 months, 24, or 48 months. Now, if you pick the 1 month plan, you're not going to be getting a free domain. And by the way, I won't recommend you to go with 1 month, because 1 month is definitely too short for you to host the domain if you are thinking long term. All right, so the one I usually recommend is if you are thinking long term, okay, and you really want to go into this, consider getting the 48 months plan, because you're going to be getting more a higher discount on it. You can see you are going to be saving as high as $768 if you're picking the 48-month plan. But if you're on a budget, okay, because if you are picking the 48-month plan, this is what you're going to be paying, $153.52. All right, and you can see it here. You're going to be getting daily backup, 2 extra months, and domain name. All right, and if you are getting the maybe 12 months, for example, let's see what the price is. So you're going to be paying the $53, and if you are getting the 24 months, you're going to be paying $95. All right, so let's say you want to go for the 48 months plan. Once you select the period that you want to get your hosting, so next thing you want to do is to come over here and click on continue. Next, you'll be prompted to create an account. You can see the option here to register. So you can either register with your Google or with your GitHub, but then or you can just use your email. So you put in your email here and your password, and then you go ahead and click on register. Once that is done, the next thing is to put in your billing address. All right, so you put in your first name, last name, just all of this detail, your phone number, your address, your city. So once you're done with that, you just press the continue, after which you'll be prompted to make payments. All right, so with respect to payments, there are different payment methods. You can see we have the option to pay with your card. You can pay with PayPal, Google Pay. I have the option of OPay right here, I think based on my country. Now you can also use crypto. You can see we have the option of CoinGate, Alipay, and all of these options. So they have a good payment platform, payment gateway here that you can make use of. I'm very sure you find at least one that will work for you. So once you are done with your payments, all right, whichever one you want to use, just go ahead and click on submit payments. All right. So once you are done with the process, you can see you'll be able to access your account, but then you need to also verify your email, because an email will be sent to you. Once you are done with all of those process, you'll be able to log in with your email and your password you selected while creating an account. All right. So once you're in your dashboard like this, you can see I'm currently on home. Okay. You might see some other information here, but just come over to website, click on website, and then you see the option all websites right here. Once it opens up, you see this option here, which is add website. So go ahead and add website. So if you also want to go ahead and create more websites on the same hosting plan, it's still the same process you're going to follow. So now I've clicked on add website. I'll come over here and click on the option of WordPress. So I select WordPress. The next, you're going to be seeing this, I don't know if I should call it questionnaire or some survey. So you can just answer them randomly. Then here is the next one, create your login to your WordPress account. All right, so this is where you're going to create your login details that you're going to be using to access your WordPress account. So this is where you're going to put in your WordPress email and then your administrator password. Now you can use a different email, something different from what you use to create your hosting account. All right, so but when you're creating your password, you need to take note of all of this. Make sure it has one number, one symbol, one lowercase, one uppercase, 8 to 50 characters, and only Latin letters. All right. So once you put in all of these, and please take note of your password, it's very important. Take note of your administrator password, like you can see here. All right. So once you fill in all of this information, just go ahead and click on next. So next now is to choose the domain that we want to use. Okay, you can see what domain or subdomain would you like to use. And don't forget what I said a domain is. That's simply the your web address. Okay, those words that you put into your browser to be able to access your website. Now, there are three options. You can see here, claim your free domain. The second one is buy a new domain. And the third one is confirm a domain you already own. All things being equal, if this is your first time, you're going to be claiming your free domain. Okay, so what you're going to do is just come here and put in the domain that you want to use. Let's say this is what I want to use now. All right, now once you put in the domain, if the domain name is available, that means if nobody else is using that name, you're going to see the option here. Once it appears here like this, you're going to see something that will show up like claim your free domain. All right, so you go ahead and click it, and then you'll be able to claim your free domain. Now the second option says buy a new one. All right, so maybe you are creating your second website, okay, and then you've already used your free domain. All right, you can just go ahead and purchase a new domain. So you can see here, maybe if I want to purchase this particular domain now, you can see the option here. I can just go ahead and click on it. Okay, that means you want to purchase your domain from them. Now the third option is to confirm a domain you already own, and which is what I'm going to be using. Now you can use any of the three method that applies to you. Okay, but I'm going to be using this domain gazegbt.com because I already have the domain. Okay, so once I put it in, and that's why you can see this option that you own this domain. So I'll just select it. All right, so you can see this domain is registered at another provider. You have to verify you own it when you connect to the site. All right, so this is what happens if you are using this option, this confirm a domain you already own. All right, so I own the domain. I'll still show you how to confirm it if it's this method you want to use. All right, so once you put in your domain name, so just go ahead and click on next. So we are currently installing our WordPress. You can see installing WordPress. This may take a few minutes. All right. So guys, if you are finding value in this video, please give the video a thumbs up. And if you are still yet to subscribe, kindly go ahead and click on that subscribe button right now. So once you are done with WordPress installation, the next thing is going to ask, are you going to create your website with AI or pre-built website and theme? So we are not going to select any of this option. We'll just go ahead and click on go to WordPress. All right. So with this now, we are currently logged into our WordPress dashboard. So as you can see here, and this is what the screen is going to look like. You're going to see onboarding. All right, so another thing I also want you to take note is that once you have installed your WordPress, so let me show you that real quick. Now, if you check your browser right here, you might be seeing some random word that is different from your domain. So basically what is happening is that your domain name is here to be linked properly with your hosting. All right, it happens sometimes. So instead of before now, you might need to wait some hours before it's propagate for you to continue with your website. But what they do now is that they provide you with a temporary domain that you can use so that you can continue creating your website. So after some minutes, some hours, preferably maybe 1 or 2 hours, you can just come back to your WordPress admin dashboard, right? And you'll be seeing your domain. And for you to access it, just go to your browser and type in your domain name /WPI admin, WP-admin rather. So you can see it right here. I have the domain name /WP-admin. So once you type this in your browser, it will bring you back to your dashboard, and then you're going to be seeing your domain. All right. So now that we are here, now let me walk you through some of the things that you are seeing on your screen. Okay. So right here we have some of these menu options which we are going to be taking a look one after the other. So the first thing I want you to do is to come over to plugins. You go to install plugins. Basically, there are some plugins that were installed for us by the host, but we are not going to be needing them, so I'll just go ahead and uninstall them so I can check everything except this light speed cache. Then you click on this block actions, you first of all deactivate, and then you click on apply. So you do the same thing. Now you can go ahead, accept this light speed cache, bulk action, delete, and then apply. Now you might be wondering what plugins are. Plugins are web app. I call them web app that add more functionalities to your website. Okay, they have they help you to add more features to your website. Now, a typical example is your phone, the apps on your phone. You know, some of the apps, you have the camera app, the messaging app, some of these games, if you look at them, they are some of the things that add more features to your phone. All right. So the same thing happens to your website. So once we start installing some of these apps, these plugins, you are going to understand what function they are actually doing and why you need some of them. Also, if there is any plugin, including themes that you are not using, please just delete them, because leaving them on your website means they are going to be taking more space on your host, and one way or the other, they also limit the speed of your website. Okay, and they might also even cause conflict with some plugins on your website. So if you're not using them, just go ahead and delete them. All right. So now that we've deleted them, let's come back to our dashboard. All right. And this is what we are having. You can see, welcome to WordPress. All right. So let me walk you through these options here. This is the dashboard. I've just clicked on it here. And then here we have posts. So this is where you're going to click if you want to add posts to your website. Maybe you want to add a blog content. Once you click here, you can see you can view all the posts. And if you want to add posts, just come here. Let me open that in a new tab. And then you see the option to add posts. All right. So once it opens up like this is where you put in your title for your blog post. You can put in the body of the content of your blog post right here. All right. And to the right here, this is where you put in your featured image. So that's the image that is going to introduce your blog post. All right. This is where you're going to put it. If you want to add an excerpt, you can do that here. If you want to publish immediately, it says to publish immediately. If you want to schedule it, just click on it and select the date you want it to be published. And if you want to add it to a particular category, you can just do so here, or you create a new category. And then let's see, those are basically the options under here. It's pretty much straightforward to create a blog post. All right. So let me just close this. Now, away from blog, we have media. So this is where you're going to find all your media files like photos, images. This is where you're going to find PDF files that you're going to be uploading to your website. This is where you're going to find them. All right. And then another advice is avoid not to upload video, because videos takes a larger space. Okay, so what you can just do is upload them on other video platform, maybe like YouTube, and then you can embed it on any part of the website that you need it. All right. So we also have pages. We are still going to be looking at this more often. This is where you're going to see all your pages, maybe like your own page, your about us page, your contact page, and every other pages. You see it under here. This is comments. Once you start receiving comments or reviews, all right, so you're going to be seeing it under here, and then you're going to be seeing some notifications showing you how many comments you already have on your website. All right, so next is appearance. This is where we have themes. Now, once we install the theme that I want to use, you're going to be seeing more options under appearance. Then this is plugin. I've just talked about it. Now this is for user. I think we are still going to come here. This is where you are going to set your own profile, and to add user, you can see the option to add users. We are still going to come back here. Then tools, under tools, we have some of these options. Then next thing we have settings, and then we have this light speed cache. All right, so let me talk about this light speed cache. I find it it's a caching plugin. It helps to increase speed, on your website. One of the things I also find handy with this plugin is if I come to presets, for example, and maybe if I'm doing some changes on my website and then it's not really reflecting, or it's taking time to come up, I can just come here and then apply this preset, basically to clear some cache. You can do it from here, and you can also do that from your hosting. Okay, if you need to clear cache, okay, and you can do that from your hosting. All right, I'll still show you that. So just click on apply preset and then go and refresh, and it should work fine. All right, so on the hosting part also, you can see we are currently on our domain name. You can see there's an option to clear cache here. So if you need to clear cache here, or maybe you're experiencing some error, which is rare anyway, but I just need to mention this. All right, so if you just once you come to your hosting, that's one advantage of this hosting. You'll be able to see it right here, okay? And you come to overview, it will tell you that there's an error, and it can also help you to fix it using AI and the likes. All right, so that's it on that. Now let's come back here. So with that, then the next thing is settings. So let me open the settings one after the other, and let me show you some of the settings that we might also need to do. Not everything, but let's start with the general. All right, so under the general, so this is where I'm going to put in your site title. So let's say I want to put in the name of my academy. So I can say maybe that's PA Academy. So let me just use that. So the tagline, for tagline, just like it says here, in a few words, explain what the site is about, okay? Explain, for example, just another WordPress site. So I can just use the word like online learning, redefined. Okay, so just put something in there, but make sure your tagline also is SEO optimized. Let it has keyword that talks about what you do, and then also SEO purpose. Now we have here site icon. So now let me show you something now. If I should minimize this now, if you see on your browser tab, for example, this that you're seeing right here, that logo, if you're looking, you're seeing H here. All right, so that's what we refer to as our site icon. So if you want to do that, you will do that from here. There's also another options under appearance that we can do it. But if you want to do it, just click on it. All right, then you can select preferably your logo. If you don't have it in uploaded, you'll just come over here and click on upload files, select files. All right, and then you can just select whatever you want to use from your computer. So let me just look for one image to use. So I've selected this for tutorial purpose. Let me just use this. All right, so I'll just click on save, and then okay, so you can skip cropping anyway. All right, so you can see it right here. This is just an example how it will look like on your browser tab. So every other thing here, it's okay the way it is. If you want to change your administrator email, all right, remember this email address while we're creating our WordPress. This is where you can change it. Now under membership, select this option that anyone can register, because we are creating a website where people can come, log in, create an account and the likes, okay? So this option, anyone can register, should be checked. All right, so user default, still leave this as subscriber. All right, so every other thing here, it's all depends on you. If you want to select your preferred time zone, your preferred time and date format, you can do that from here, and then week start on. Okay, so since we've made changes here, just go ahead and click on save changes. Right, so that is done. Then under writing, we don't really have much to do here. Then under reading also, we don't have much to do here. You can see this is discourage search engine from indexing your site, so make sure you don't check this if you want your website to be showing on Google or search engine generally. All right, so this is for discussion. So I always like to check this. User must be registered and logged in to comment. All right, so they must be logged in to comment. I always like this. You can also go through it. If there's any other thing you just feel you want to change, okay, like maybe email me whenever anyone posts a comment. If you don't want to get emails, it depends on you. All right, I think I made a change here, so let me just go ahead. Now, if you also want to add your default avatar and every other thing like this, so just go ahead and save changes if you make any changes there. So I think pretty much that's just it. Every other settings are okay the way they are. All right, so with that, now we've looked at the general overview for WordPress settings, and then this menu overview. All right, so the next thing we want to do now is theme installation. All right, but before we install our theme, let me come back to our dashboard. So I'm currently back to our dashboard right here. Now let me show you what our website currently looks like. So if I hover over this right here at your upper left of your screen, you see view site. Let me open it in a new tab. Now you see that this is what our website currently looks like. Okay. Now I want to take it from this to this right here. Okay. Now let's come back to where we want to install our theme. For you to install your theme, just come over to appearance, and then you'll see themes here. So by default, you are going to see the themes from the last 3 years. So we currently have 2025, 2024, and 2023. Now, the first one you are seeing here is the theme that the website is currently running on. All right. Now, when we talk about theme is what's responsible for the layout, the design of your website. Okay. So once you change the theme, every themes are unique in its own way. You know, they come with some, they also come with some added functionalities with some features. Okay. But they are responsible for the overview of your website. All right. Now, take for example, and that typical example is your phone. If you install a theme on your phone, there's a way it kind of like change the appearance, the overview of your phone. It can change the icon, it can change the way, add some kind of like fancy things to your phone. The same thing applies here. Now, let me show you something. We are currently running on 2025. That's why it is showing here. If I had to switch to 2024 now, let me click on activate, right? So once this is activated, you can see it here. We're having it 2024. If I come back to our website and I refresh it, all right, you can see that it changes. The font changes, the design changes, and everything. If I also do the same thing to 2023, if I should activate 2023 now, okay, and you see it's already activated. If I come back to our website, if I should refresh it, okay, you see that it changes. You can see the example is this text right here, it changes. Okay, so basically that is theme. However, this is not the theme we are going to be using. Okay, we are going to be using a different theme to start building our online course website. All right, so to do that, come over here to add themes. All right, so you can see before we even add our own theme, okay, you can see that currently they have over 8,000 themes here. Okay, the free themes that you can use. However, we are not going to be using any of these. We have a theme that we're going to be using. So just come over to upload theme, and here we are going to choose the file for the theme that I want to use. Now, for the theme that we are going to use, let me show you the theme that we want to use. So you come over to this website, makeaprosperblog.com/Eduma, and you're going to be redirected to this page. Okay, so you can see this is the theme we are going to be using. All right, so you can see it here is the #1 best-selling theme for education. All right, so this is what we are going to be using to create our online course website. So this is the price as at now. All right, now once you are here, just go ahead and click on add to cart. All right, so once you click on add to cart, then just go ahead and proceed to checkout. So there's a chance that you might not have an account with them. Okay, so just go ahead and create an account. You can create it with any of these, maybe with email or anyone that is okay with you. So let's say you want to do with email. So once you select email, you put in your first name, your last name, email, password. So once you create an account, the next thing is to put in your billing details, and then you select your payments method, and then you'll be able to make payments for the domain. For the theme rather. All right. So once that is done, all right, you'll be able to access the account. And then once you are logged in, at the upper right, you're going to see a place that shows your username. You see this option of downloads. So once you click on downloads, you're going to see the themes right here. The theme that you just purchased, which is this Eduma right here. Now, under this download, just click on this download. You're going to see a lot of options here. Just choose installable WordPress file only, and then download either the license certificate purchase code. You can download either the PDF format or the text format. All right, so there are two things that you need to download again: the installable WordPress file only and either of these two. Okay, download them. All right, so once that is done, then you can come back to our website that we are creating. Okay, so now you can come back to theme. I already have mine downloaded already, that's why I didn't click it again. All right, so you just choose the file, and then you look for the installable files. Okay, so this is mine right here, so I'll just select it and I click on open. Okay, so once I click on open, I'll go ahead and click on install. So guys, if you are finding value in the video, please give the video a thumbs up. All right, so now it has been installed. Next thing you want to do is to activate. You can see the option to activate here, so just go ahead and click on activate. Next, you click on install and activate. So now that we've installed it, now you'll notice something, that we now have more options on the left right here. Like I said, under appearance, you can see we now have design, customize, widget, and menu. And then we now have this new menu here, right? Okay, so that was why I went through it earlier. And once we start installing even more plugins and every other thing, you're going to be having more options here. Okay, so now let's go ahead and continue with this. So it's telling you welcome to Eduma. So just click on next step. General setup, what is the name of your website? Remember where we did this. Okay, so that's fine there. So just click on save. All right, so now it's telling us that we need to install certain plugins for us to be able to use this theme to the fullest. All right, and it is recommending all these plugins. So just go ahead and click here to select all. All right, so for now, just go ahead and select all. All right, you might not definitely need everything, but just go ahead and select all for now. Okay, and then click on install and activate. So the next thing is asking us to import a demo content. All right, so if you look here, one of the advantage of this theme is that it comes with a lot of demo. All right, you can see here different demo that you can actually use to create your online course website, depending on what you intend to achieve. All right, remember I mentioned that at the beginning of this video, that while we are working on creating an online course website for one instructor, where you want to sell your own personal course and the like, if you also want to create one that will allow people to be able to come on your website to create, to also sell their courses. You can use the likes of this demo main, this demo learning platform. I also have tutorials on these two other demos. All right, so you can use any of this demo here. All right, but for the purpose of this tutorial, we are going to be using one instructor. So this is what we are going to be using here. All right, so I'll just go ahead and click on install. All right, so and it's just go ahead and click on import. So basically the idea behind demo is that you are bringing in a complete website, and what you need to do is to update it to suit the kind of website that you want to create and the information that you have. Maybe then you put in your course, you just update the website to look unique and to also be yours, and that's what I'm going to be walking you through. Okay, all right, so now we've imported our demo, so you can go ahead and view our site, and then you can also click here to return to our dashboard. All right, so I'm going ahead to open the site. After import, you can see which is what we currently have. All right, just like I showed you earlier, and it is currently under our domain, so you can see it. Even if I should refresh it so that you can see it is our domain. All right, so now what we want to do now, I'm going to walk you through how you can update all of this and every other thing that you need to do as long as creating your online course website is concerned. All right, so back to our dashboard, there's another thing you also need to do. Remember I said that any theme or plugin that you're not using, you should always delete them. So we're going to come back there to where we have appearance, and then we'll go back to theme. Now those other themes that we are not using, like this, now just go ahead, click on it, and then you delete it. Okay, so just do so for these other two themes. All right, so now that is done, so let me just go back to our dashboard. All right, so now if you look at all these options here, you can see now we have even more options. Okay, by virtue of the demo site that we imported, we already have more plugins that has been installed. If I should show you, if I should come to plugins now, this is plugins over here. Let me put that in a new tab. You see that we have more plugins that installed for us that we are going to for the website. You can see we have contact from 7. This contact from 7 is what is responsible for people sending you message on your contact page, that contact form that is on your page. Let me see if I can also show you that pages. Let's see if we have the contacts. All right, maybe it's not here. There's separately. So we also have this Elementor. Is a page builder that is used to create some of the pages for the website. This is LearnPress. You can see this is one of the major plugin that is doing the work as long as creating online courses and everything. So you can see every associated plugin. We have this TP login. So this basically this plugin, which is somewhere here, this is it here, is if you want to make your website, people should be able to create an account using their social media profile. This is what that plugin is responsible for. We have WooCommerce and Event Manager. If you want to have an event section on your website, you want to publish events, you can see this plugin is what is making that happen. And that is to correlate with what I said earlier, that these plugins are meant to add more functionalities rather to your website. Okay, so with that being said, let me come back to our dashboard again. So the next thing we want to do now is to look at some of these settings one after the other. You can see we have this Eduma right here. So let me take you through all of these one after the other, and then we've already started creating our website, no doubt. Okay, so now let's start with this Eduma. All right, so I'll just go ahead and click on it. Okay, so that should open up. So once it's open up, we have the dashboard. We really don't have much to do on that dashboard. So you come over to license. All right, so you can see this is where you're going to put in your license code. Now once you once you install your theme and you click on activate, you see this option for license code, and from that file that we downloaded earlier from our theme, okay, this is where you're going to get your your purchase code. Okay, so you just paste it here to activate. All right, and don't forget, like I said, the link to getting the theme and the hosting plan. All right, I'll leave everything in the description of this video. Okay, so next is this demo we've been here. What we want to look at is this plugin. All right, so we also need to look at some of the plugins that this Eduma is making available to us. Now the interesting thing about it is that you see some of these plugins, they are premium plugins. Okay, but because of this theme that we are using, this Eduma theme, these plugins are made available for us for free. Okay, so now this is a WooCommerce add-on for LearnPress. We are going to be needing this. This is what we are going to be using to set up our payments. All right. Now this is another plugin certificate add-on. Basically, what this does is that it makes us to be able to issue certificates upon completion of courses. Okay, once people complete a course and you want to be issue them certificates, then you're going to need this plugin. All right, so go ahead and install it. If you also want to use this great add-on, all right, you can go ahead and install it. All right, so I'm just going to be installing them randomly, but you can also take your time to, to choose the one that you want to use. All right. So if you want to do live courses, all right. So this is a plugin you are going to be using. All right. If you want to be doing live session on your own website, okay, on the online course website, then go ahead and install this plugin. So this for random quiz. If you want to have that random quiz feature, basically the idea behind this is if you have quiz on your website and you want to have the questions to appear randomly, you use this. This is for co-instructor. So if you create a course and you want to add somebody else as a co-instructor, all right, this is the plugin for that. If you want to give commission, that means if you want to create an online course website where people will get commission for selling their course on your website, you need to install this. All right. If you want to do upsell announcement, if you want to be giving assignment on your course, you're going to install this. The setup process is pretty much easy. Now, if you also want to do membership, instead of maybe people should buy the paid courses, because you can also create free course and paid course. Now you can create a membership package that allows members to be able to access even the paid course. All right. So this is a plugin that is responsible for them. All right. If you need that, you can go ahead and install it. We already have course review installed and activated. What else again? If you want to, okay, this is already installed already. All right. So these are all the plugins. If you want to make use of any of them, for example, this is Instagram feed. If you have an Instagram account that you want to, display on a particular section of your website, you can go ahead and install this. We have some already installed. Now this is Revolution slider. All right, it's installed already, and then pretty much that's everything here. I won't be installing everything, okay, but I just need to walk you through just in case you are looking forward to some features. All right, and then you are wondering if the feature is available or not. These plugins will make you achieve some of them. All right, okay. So away from all of these plugins, now I think I installed one plugin here. So once you click on install, do make sure you activate it also. All right. Now, away from plugins, another thing we want to look at is this cookie consent. So if you want to enable cookie consent on your website, so this is where you can do it. It's pretty much easy from here. So what you just need to do is to enable it, enable the pop-up and set where you want it to show. And then this is the content that was created by default. It says we use cookies to improve your experience, including external cookies required for website to function. By continuing, you agree to our use of cookies. So learn more. So this has been linked to your cookie page, I think. So let's see what is inside this link. All right, so you just put it to a link to the page that you want to link it to. All right, so once you do this, you can also go through some of this information to see that it best fits your cookies consent. So then go ahead and save all of this. All right, so with that being said, we are done with all of these options under Eduma. So now let's move to the next thing that we want to be looking at. Now, if you look at the next menu here, we have LearnPress. Okay, so if I over it, you see different options: courses, lesson, and the likes. Okay, so the first thing we are going to start with under LearnPress is settings. So once I over it, I come to settings and I click on settings. So on the settings page, let's start with the general. So by default, some of these options are okay. All right. So all courses page, once anything has to do with courses is going to course page, all instructor page. So this is the page. But if there's any reason or any need for you to change any of these pages, so this is where you can update all of these. Single instructor page, profile page, checkout page. All right. Especially if you have multiple pages for a particular function. For example, when we get to pages, I think, let me just open it right now. So this is pages. If I open pages now, in case you have, different page for maybe for checkout page now, let's see, you might have to maybe one by the theme itself, or for example, now you can see this become an instructor, become a teacher, and then there's still another one again. All right, they are similar page, okay, it's just that this one was created by LearnPress, this one was created by Elementor. They are two different pages, but they perform different the same function. All right, so this is where you can select which of them you want to use. All right, so in case you have something like that, you can see this terms and condition page. So anything that has to do with terms and condition, for example, this page is what is going to show up. All right, and then you can easily edit the page or view the page. All right, so this other one, logout redirects, basically it's talking about what page do you want your viewers or people to be redirected to once they log out. All right, so you can set that to the home page. Okay, let's see. I think this is this is the home page. All right, so next thing is the currency. So this is where you set up your currency and every other information that has to do with currency that you want to use on your website. All right, and then publish profile, public all user profile. All right, if you want to do this, okay, but it is okay if it is none. All right, and then you go ahead and save. All right, so away from that, we go over to courses. So under courses, this is where you select your layout. It's currently set to modern, which is fine. If you need to change it to classic, but make sure when you change it, you go ahead and check what it actually looks like. All right, so review courses. Courses created by instructor will be pending review first. So this is left check. Um, Archive page layout is in list. Course per page is set to 8. If you want to change this is where you can do it. Every other options here are okay, but if you need to change them, this is what you can. This is where you can actually change them. Now, this is material setting, file type. The type that you can upload. We are going to understand this when we start creating course. We have the text format and the PDF. Upload files, you can only upload maximum of 2. If you want to increase it, this is where you can increase. And then the size, maximum size is 2 MB, right? If you want to upload material for your courses, okay, it's currently set to 2 MB, but you can also increase it. File page is set to 1, and every other information here. So if you make any changes, don't forget to always save. All right, then next one is for profile. So this is talking about the avatar dimension, the cover image, and every other information here. I think they are fine the way it is. Now this is for payments, all right? So by default, the only payment that is available is PayPal. But remember when we are installing plugins here, and then we came here to plugins, I installed WooCommerce payment, and that's why this option is coming up. So if you didn't install that, you're not going to be seeing this option. You're only going to be having the option of PayPal, all right? So under the general, these are the options there. Enable guest checkout. I don't want guest checkout. Before you can check out, you have to create an account. Okay, so I won't enable this. Account creation, enable the register form in the checkout. Yes. Now this is where you're going to select your payment mode. I want to use WooCommerce payment. I don't want offline payments. Okay. Now, if PayPal works for you, fine. You can go ahead and use PayPal. All right. If you have a PayPal account, and please, you need to note that it needs to be a business PayPal account. All right. So just go ahead and select PayPal. But if you want to use other payment system, you can use WooCommerce payment, or in one of those plugins you would have seen Stripe payments. Okay, you can also make use of that. But for this, I'm going to be using WooCommerce payment. So what it means is that I'm going to be using the payment I'm going to be setting for WooCommerce. All right, instead of using the payment from LearnPress. I hope that makes sense. Okay, but if you want to now set up PayPal, you can see the PayPal menu here. So you just click on enable PayPal, and then you put in your client ID, and then your secrets, your client secrets. So if you want to get that, you can see there's a link here that will take you to PayPal to get all of those information. Okay, then if you're all offline payment, since we are dealing with online course, I don't think we are going to need offline payments. Okay, but if that applies to you, that's fine. So if you come back to WooCommerce payments, so this option is enabled already. If enabled, system will use payments checkout options of WooCommerce instead of LearnPress, and that was what I said earlier. So just leave this checked. Buy courses, buy products. Now this is the major thing that you need. If this is enabled, fine. Then you save changes. So we are still going to go back to set our payments under WooCommerce in the course of this video. Now let's come over to emails. So this is where you're going to set up all the emails that people are going to receive. So once a new order is made, admin is going to receive an email. The user is going to receive an email, and then the instructor is the owner of the course. The user is like the student, the person purchasing the course. The admin it can be you, that you're in charge of the back end of the website. Okay, so everybody's going to receive an email. If you want to see what the email looks like, you click on manage to check them out, and if you need to modify them, you can also do so. So what you just do is, once you scroll down, just enable all. Okay, you can see everything is already enabled, and then you go ahead and save that settings. All right, so if you want to see you can see the from name, P Academy, this header image. So you can create an header image. You can use your logo, so just go ahead and upload it. Now this footer text changes from LearnPress. You can put in the name of your site, or and put it there, and that should be fine. So if you want to see what other messages looks like, for example, when an order is processing, okay, let's see, processing order. Okay, so you can see this is what the message will look like. All right, so if you want to change it to make it maybe different or unique, okay, this is what you're going to do. And you can use all of this short code. Let me just call them short code. You can say click any variable above to insert them in the email. So if you want to put in your site URL, this is what you're going to use. You're going to put some order ID, order user ID, and the likes. Okay, So if you want to change the title or anything, but they are fine the way they are, okay? But just in case you want to play around, this is for the user side. If for the guest, you select the guest and then you can update all of this. So don't forget to always save any of the settings once you make any changes. All right. So let's come over to permalinks. So permalinks too, it's always fine the way it is, but if you need to change anything here, you can also adjust them. All right. This is for permalinks. So one thing I just noticed with course is while I was working on a particular one is the course page was not opening, so I changed it from courses page base to course. All right, and it was opening fine. So that might come handy. So if you make any changes here, do make sure you save. Then under advanced, let's see what is under advanced. So this is where you can also change your primary color and your secondary color. If you look at it, we have this shade of is this yellow and navy blue. So if I should check, you can see we have a lot of yellow and navy blue. All right, so you can do that from here. Okay, so let's continue from our settings. Okay, I think that's really thing that if you want to with container, I think it's just fine like that. So LearnPress AI, this particular one was recently added. I'm yet to test how it works, so I can't really talk much about it, but this is a new update, this LearnPress AI. All right, but well, like you can see, you need to connect it with your ChatGPT. Okay, so away from that, we also have certificates. Now, if you are not seeing the certificate option, that's because you didn't install the certificate plugin under this Eduma. All right. The plugins, if you come here and then you click on plugins, those added additional plugins that I mentioned that I showed you earlier. So if you didn't install it, you are not going to see the certificates option. There are some other options that you might also see here that are not here, depending on the plugin that you install under Eduma. All right. I hope that's clear. Okay. So this is for certificate. This is where you select the font color. Now, download certificate type. Do you want them to be able to download their certificate as an image or as PDF? So this is where you select that option. Show certificate pop-up if you want that here. Do you want them to be able to share their certificate on Twitter and Facebook? Yes. Then this is the total number of display certificates per page. If set to 0, then show all. All right, so it all depends on you. So since I've added some things here, okay, I think I'm okay with the certificate being a PDF. Then go ahead and save that. Okay, so with that now, those are the options under settings. So the next thing I want to look at now is how we can go ahead and create course. All right, so to do that now, let me click on courses. So if I come over here and click on courses now, so once you're on your course page, you're going to have a page that looks like this. So what I would just advise you to do is to go ahead and delete all these demo courses so that you can start creating yours. All right, now once you are here, there's an option for category here. If you look at it here, so this is where you can create categories for your courses. So these are some categories that we created based on the demo that we installed. So you can go ahead and delete and create yours. So let's say we want to create our own category now. We can create a category maybe for, okay, we have IT and the likes, just a category for the kind of content that you are creating, the kind of course that you are creating. All right, so I can have a category. Maybe I want to create a course that has to do with engineering. Okay, so this will be the main category. So if you want to make it as the main category, so just go ahead and leave under this parents category, let's select it as not. You can go ahead and put description if you want to add all of this option. For example, if you want to put icon image, then just take note, maybe you want to use icon image or you want to use thumbnail image, just take note that once you use it for one of those categories, you must use it for all other categories. Exactly. For example, I don't think they use it here, all right, in this demo one. So, but it's a matter of preference. If once you use it for one, you must use it for the other one. If not, it's just to create consistency. And then you go ahead and click on add new category. And then, okay, you can see it here. Now, if you want to create a subcategory under this now, you can just go ahead and give, maybe have an engineering. I can decide to have a subcategory like maybe civil engineering. All right, or maybe any other engineering, electrical, mechanical, or the likes. So now under parent category now, you're going to select engineering. All right, so that means it would be, this civil engineering will be a subcategory under engineering. You go ahead and fill in all of this, and then you go ahead and add add a new course category. And then you can see it now with this dash here, it's letting you know that it's a subcategory under engineering. All right, so that's how you can go ahead and create the category that you want to create. So now let's come back to courses. So if I come here and click on courses, we've looked at categories, and then you can also do the same thing, almost similar to tags also. All right, now if you want to create a course, once you are here, the way I'll do it in this video is to just go ahead and create add new course. However, when you want to create yours, one thing I would advise you to do is make sure you create your lessons, you create your questions, your quizzes, all right, before you come over here and then you start to do add a new course. And I'll tell you why as we progress in this video. Now let me show you what the course looks like. I think I didn't do that at the beginning of this video, so let me use this as an example, this introduction to LearnPress elements. So it's just a demo course. So this is what the course looks like, a course page. I'll still show you where you can choose between different display for your course page. Okay, for example, this is your display image right here. You'll see the teacher's name, the category the course falls under, some of the reviews. Then you're going to see if it's a pay or a free course. For example, this is a free course, that's why you're seeing this free, and then there's a start now button. Right here is the title of the course. Now you can see we have an overview right here, right? So you can also call it a description about the course right here. Let's see other information. Under we have curriculum, okay, and these are the curriculum here. You can see it has 3 sections. Details about the instructor, all right, because I've not filled in my profile, that's why it's just showing my email. So if I should fill in my profile, my name, my social media links, and every other thing, it looks better. And then every review that you've received, you're going to get it here. So this is what the course page looks like. You can see we have a sidebar for this, all right, the sidebar for all courses, latest course, and then we have this banner here. So you can also be creative with this. You can use it for something else, all right? So make sure you remove this because this is a branded one for the thing. So, and put yours, and if you don't want it, you can delete it. You're still going to get there, all right? And we can see we have here similar courses, all right? So this is how the course will look like, all right? So now let's go ahead and create our own course. So I'll come back to courses. I'll click on add new course. Now I said make sure you create under curriculum. Okay, maybe we'll come back to that. So come over here and click on add new course. All right, so the page will open up like this, and this is what you're going to see. So now let's go ahead and fill in all of this information right here. So let's say I want to create a course now. Let's say I want to call it basic electricity. Basic electricity. All right, I think E is missing here. Right, so maybe I want to create a course for electrical engineering students. All right. Now this part here is where I'm going to put in a description about the course. All right. So the description or info, let me use this as an example. For example, this overview. All right, this overview here. So let me just copy this. So this is where I'm going to have that information. All right. So you can work with all of these formatting options right here, right, to create this section. So away from that, we have all of these course settings where we are going to look at them, where you are starting from general. Now this is duration, is asking that how many weeks will this course take. You can use days, hours, or minutes. All right, so you can put in what you think, the number of hours you think it will take, or number of weeks you think this course is going to take. All right, and then you can set it to 0 for a lifetime access. All right, so that's the duration of the course. Now block content, when the duration expires, the course is blocked. All right, so maybe at the end of that 10 weeks after you started the course, if you still want to give them access, this is what it's for. Then block the course after student has finished the course. All right, so this is checked. Now all the options we are going to be choosing under this course setting is a matter of preference. Okay, so I won't tell you that this is what you should do and this is what you should not do. I'll just try my best to explain what each of some of those things actually means, then you can decide what which of them you want to apply and how you want to apply them. All right, so block the course after the student has finished this course. So that means maybe you don't want them to have access to the course again after they've completed the course or they finished the course. So that is what this is for. Allow repurchase. So, you know, once there are some platform that once you're done with their course, you know, if you want them to be able to repurchase the course, especially for example like this now, if you set this option that okay, they will not be able to access the course again, then definitely they'll have to repurchase. All right, so it depends on you. So for level, this is where you're going to select the level. What level does this course apply? Is it a beginner course? Is it an intermediate? Is it expert? You know, you can select any of these. Now, fake student enrolled. You can see fake student enrolled for this course. It only displays, not calculates. All right, so just show at the end. Let me show you this now. Now, all these options you are currently choosing, all these course settings, this is a summary right here. All right, this is the summary of everything. You can see for this particular course, the duration is 3 hours. The skill level is set to all level. All right, and then now this part where it says student, you can see it's 273. Now this is just a fake student, and that's what we are filling in here. Okay, where is it? Fake student enrolled. So you can put in a number. All right. Now that's to let you know that you go on some online course website and then you see that number of students enrolled and you'll be seeing some numbers there. That doesn't mean those are real human that have students or human that have enrolled for those courses. You know, sometimes they put in those numbers to, you know, convince people to want to take up the course, because sometimes also if you want to take up a course, you want to take up a course based on the number of students that have taken that course, right? So the maximum number of students that can join the course, you can set that here. Retake course, how many times do you want them to be able to retake a course? You put that here. Allow finish button, this is checked. Then you want it to be a featured course, you go ahead and put it here. Then you can put in a featured review, especially if you make the course a featured course. All right, so normally used for offline classes. So if you want to do offline classes, you can put a link to that offline class. All right. Then duration, override display duration in single course. All right. Then this is for language. What's the language for this course? You can go ahead and put it. Media intro. Do you want to enable review, show review for this course? All right. So those are the options under general. If you go to offline course, all right, so if you want to enable offline course, all right, then you can check this and then you have access to all of this. Okay, so basically you can see, if you check this, you can check the total number of lessons, the delivery type, is it private one-on-one, what's the physical address of the class, especially or specify the meeting method. So this is where you can put in, do you want to meet via Zoom, Google Meet, or you want to meet physically? All right, so that's for offline course. Okay, and if you are choosing maybe one of this one, there's a way you're going to put in your link for the meeting. All right, so now let's go back to pricing. So this is where you're going to put in the price for the course. Now here you put in the regular price, at how much you want to sell the course, you know. And if it's going to be a free course, just leave it blank. You can see, set your regular price, leave it blank for free course. So if it's a free course, just leave it blank. Then if you want to do sales, maybe for example, you are selling your course for $50 and then you want to do sales that, okay, you can get this course for $35. Right, so that's the meaning of this sale price. And then you can schedule that, okay, for this $35, from when to when, okay, you can say start sales date and end sales date. So you can select this yourself, all right, so that once that date reaches, it will start and then it will end by itself. So you don't need to just come back, all right. So then the next one is price prefix and price suffix. Let me see if I can show you something like that under courses. So let's see, under all the courses, this is free. All right, I can see this one. You can see the prefix here is only $80 per week. I think this PW means per week. This is only $150, $69 including tax. This is now the suffix. All right, so if you want to put in some of this prefix and suffix, okay, I think that, okay, you want, okay, for example, now this particular course is on sale. You can see the cost itself is $55, but on sale price is $35. All right, so that's some of the things about pricing. So prefix here, you can see additional information placed before the price, such as only, from, up to. Why for suffix, you can have something as per hour, per week, including tax and the other ones. Okay, so but for this now, let's say I'm creating a free course. So let me take this out. And then those are the options under pricing. So let's go to extra information. Now, if you want to put in, maybe before someone can take up this course, there's a basic requirements that they need to have. If you want to add that information, this is where you're going to put it, like, okay, requirements, you put it here. You just click on add more. You can put as many as possible. All right, so you can go ahead and put in this information. Then target audience, if you want to be specific about your target audience, so just put in that information right here. Okay, these are the people that the course are meant for, maybe based on their level of education, their age, their gender, or their location, any other thing. Then key features, you know, you can just highlight some key features about the course, put it here. FAQ, this is very important. All right, so what are some of the FAQ that people might want to ask? Okay, some might want to ask, so will I get a certificate upon completion? Okay, will I get a certificate upon completion? All right, so where's your question mark? All right, so will I get a certificate upon completion? So once you put that in, all right, let's see spelling. So then you put in your response here and then maybe yes or no. So you can add as many FAQ as possible and then you can also rearrange them. So once you are done, that's it for extra information. Now let's look at assessments. Now assessment talks about how you want to grade them. You can see evaluation here. You can evaluate them based on these 5. You can see evaluation. You can see evaluate by lesson. Now, if you want to understand more about some of these different evaluations, just click on this question mark and then you read the information there. But let me just explain briefly. Evaluation based on lesson means maybe if this course has like, let me read it for you. You can say evaluation by number of completed lesson per the total number of lesson. For example, if a course has 10 lessons and a user completes 5 lessons, then the result is 5%. All right. So if you want to evaluate them based on number of courses that the number of lessons. All right. If you don't understand what lessons mean, you can see it here. There's a menu for that. We are still going to look at it briefly. Based on number of lessons that they've taken out of the total lesson, you can evaluate them based via past quizzes, via questions, and via mark. All right. So whichever one you want to use, all right, it all depends on you. Then what is the passing grade? So it's currently set to 80%. If you want to increase it or reduce it, it all depends on you. All right. So that's why I said it earlier that all of the options we are going to be choosing here, it's all going to depend on you. You're going to decide what kind of evaluation you want to use and what's going to be the passing grade. All right. So the next is author. So this is where you are going to select the author. Now, I will just be seeing myself here. So, and that's because I'm the admin. If there are other people logged in as a tutor, I'm going to see them here. But then you might just be seeing just yourself. So you just leave that. Now, if you install the plugin that allows you to include co-author, all right, you are going to see that option here that do you want to include a co-author? Like maybe you did a course with another instructor and both of you have an account on this platform, like the online learning website. Both of you have an account here. So you can put it there that, okay, this course was created by yourself and the other person. Okay, so if you install that plugin, you see that option here. So let's come over to downloadable material. So under downloadable material, if you want to add, you can see add course material. And now if you remember while we were doing some setting under LearnPress and then we came to settings, you see there's a part that asks maximum file you can upload. It's currently set to 2 files. And then the maximum file size is 2 MB. Remember that was the option that was there. So as I said, if you need to increase it, that is where you can just go back to settings on, I think that's under general or so, then you can adjust this appropriately. So, and allow only this type, text format and PDF. And remember that those were the options there. All right. So if you want to upload material in other formats, then you need to come back. That is not text format or PDF. You need to come back to your settings and then indicate it that, okay, you should be able to upload this. All right. So go ahead. If you want to add course material, you just click here, add course material. So you enter the title and then you can upload. Okay. So there's an option to upload. There is going to be an external link. You can see external. So just enter the link. Okay. Maybe once they click on the link, it will take them to a page, or maybe they'll be able to download it, whatever. It all depends on you. Okay. So but the options are there. So once you are done, to make sure you save. Then we have certificates. Now for this certificate, this is where you are going to select the certificate. Now we are still going to come to the certificate section. You can see it here. We have certificate here. We've not done the certificate. So once we've done the certificate is going to appear here. So you are going to select which of the certificates you want to use, you want to issue once they are done with this particular course. All right. So there are still some options right here, the title, preview for certificate, the description, and once you are done, you go ahead and save. So these are the options here under course setting, and you're going to see, like I showed you earlier, let me open this. So you're going to see a summary of everything that you choose under course features. All right. So you can see here, certificate, it's saying no. All right. So that means because there was no certificate. All right. So let's see right here. So if I didn't select any certificates, it would just be something like this, that, okay, there's no certificate, assessment here, student 60, language, and the likes, okay? So with that now, let's scroll now away from course setting. Now, the next thing you're going to be seeing now is curriculum. All right, before we set up the curriculum, now there's a place for excerpts. You can see excerpts are optional and crafted summary of your content that you can be used in your theme, in your theme. Basically, you're just going to give a short summary of your course. All right. We already have a long description right here. Okay, so let me just copy this in one or two sentences. You can just put in an excerpt for your course. So this is where you're going to put that. All right. So once we publish it, you're going to see where that will appear. So every other thing here, discussion, you want to allow comments, yes. The author, okay, so this is the author of the course. All right. Then these display features, you can just leave this the way it is. All right. But if you want to play around to understand how some of these things work, that's when you can play around. Now for this course setting, the default setting is what is used. Okay, you can see we have different layouts. I'll still show you where you can select the default setting so that all your course will have the same page. But if you want to have a separate landing page or display page, then you can come here and choose for that particular course. All right. So with that, now we are still going to come back to this curriculum. Let's look at on the right side. So this is where you're going to select the category that this course applies. You can select multiple category. For example, now based on the title, basic electricity, I can say that this course falls under engineering. Let's see if I can see something. Okay, I can also choose technology. All right, so you can choose as many category as possible. And when you're creating your course, if the category is not there, just go here and just click on add a new category. Okay, if you also use tag, go ahead and use your tag and then add a featured image. All right, so let me add a featured image. So I'll just click here and select. So if you don't have the image here, you can just come over here and select, upload it into your computer. But if you have it in your media library, so just come over to media library. But then let me just upload one. So let me just click on select files. I think, okay, let me just select the thumbnail for this video. All right, so let's say this is what I want to use for my course. All right, and then while this is uploading, also always make sure that the title of your image before you bring it into your WordPress site corresponds to the purpose of your website and the purpose of the video. All right, I mean of the course rather. Okay, so you can see the title here, it's at least it correlates with the purpose of the image itself. So what I'm trying to say is that avoid uploading an image whereby you're titling it in picture 1, picture 2, or image 1, image 2. It doesn't really make sense for SEO purpose. So let me say I want to use this as my featured image. I've selected, uploaded it. I'll just click on select. So once you have brought that in, so next thing I want to do now is this curriculum site. But then let me just first of all publish this. So after updating it, I've come over here to change the image. All right, so if you should do a preview, if you open the link and see what it looks like, so this is what it currently looks like, and see this is the title here, this is the display image. All right, so that's the featured image rather. So this is it right here, and then it's a free course. That's why you're having it right here and showing the teacher and my details. I'll still update this instead of showing my email. All right, and you can see the category that we selected. Now, this is where we added our long description to show up under overview. Now, depending on the display or layout you are using, some might show description, some might show overview. We've not added curriculum yet. We are going to do that next, and then the instructor and then review. Now, this part is showing comments. I don't want this comment, so let's just disable it. Just leave a reply. So you come over here. So once you scroll down to discussion, so this comment, just click here and check it, and then let's come back to updates. All right, and then if you should refresh this, I think that takes that off. All right, so the comment shouldn't be there. All right, so there's another thing I want to show you. Now we added excerpt, but it's not showing up. You can see it here. I think this layout is not making provision for that. All right, but in case you use a different layout, you might just see it there. All right, so that's the progress so far. Now let's go ahead and start to add the course content itself, all right, which is under curriculum. Now for you to add this, you have to create a structure for it. Now let me show you an example using this now. If you should come to curriculum, you will see here it's saying that there are 5 sections, 14 lessons, and the number of weeks, which is 10 weeks. Now, let me explain this now. You can see 5 sections means this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So when you're just like a course generally, you're going to be having topics. You're going to be having topics, and under each topic, you're going to be having lessons under it. The same thing applies here. So what I'm saying is that before you start coming online to create your course, you should have already have a structure for it. You should have all your sections, and then you can see this is the first section 1, and then you can see these are the lessons under it. These are what we refer to as lessons. Okay. We have that of the second one, and then these are the lessons under the second one also. So for us to do this now, so let's come back here. All right, so you see create a new section. So let's say I want to create a new section. I'm going to give it a title. So let's say the first section I want to create, I want to name it electrical components. I'll just click on add section. All right, so you can see here detail section 1. Now you can also add a description. Let me see if this has a description. Now you see this text you are seeing here is a description, just something very short in 1 sentence or 2, 1 or 2 line. This is our description here. So let me just copy this. All right, and then you add the description. Okay, so just go ahead and update this. All right, so the next now is for you to add your lesson. So you can see add lesson. So your lesson now makes up the content of this particular section. All right. So to do that, now there's an option for you you can see contents bank. If I click on contents bank, I currently don't have any lesson or quiz in my contents bank. And if you remember vividly, I said it's always advisable for you to have created your lesson before you come here and start creating your course, so that you can just come to content bank and select it. But however, if you click on new lesson, so let me come here and click on new lesson. All right, so you can see there's an option here to add lesson, but there's no lesson here. So what we want to do now is to go and create our lesson, and this is for quiz. If you want to also include quiz could be an assessment. Okay, maybe like you know, there are some online courses, once you are done with it, they're going to give you some assessments. So this quiz is what they use. So if you come over here, this is where you're going to create them. You can see lessons, quizzes. So let's start with lesson. So with this now, let me just update this, all right, so that we can go ahead and create the lessons. So don't forget, just make sure you first create your lessons, you create your quiz and your question banks. All right, so let me just open up lessons in a new tab. Okay, so you can see these are lessons for other courses. So you're also going to go ahead and delete this, all right, because this is just for demo purpose. All right, so just delete. To delete, I just click on this title to check everything. Then you come to move to trash. So once it is moved to trash, you go to trash also and then delete permanently. So let's create our own lesson. So I'll click on add new lesson. All right, so I'm going to give the lesson a title. Remember, for this now, we already have, I'm creating a lesson for the first section, which is electrical components. So let's say my first lesson, I want to talk about resistor. If you're familiar with electrical, you know that. So maybe I just want to title it resistors. All right, so right here now, I'm going to give the contents of the lesson. All right, so I'm going to put in, so let me just, lesson contents. All right, it can be very just something, when I mean lesson content, like a lesson notes, you know, details. You can also embed video, add images, you know, just a normal lesson note. All right, so once you do this, if you scroll down, you can add duration. Okay, how long, how many minutes or how many weeks will this take? So let me just put minutes. So let's say this will take you like 5 minutes. All right, so preview. Now this preview means students can view this lesson without taking the course. Now where this thing comes very good or mostly used is for the beginner course. Maybe like, for example, this is section 1 and this is the first lesson. You can make it free so that people can see it, so that it can just be like an introduction or a summary of everything that they should expect in the course. All right, you can just give them a glimpse of, okay, once they see this first section, they should know that it's a good course. Or it has a way of helping your conversion and trust, like, okay, convincing people that, okay, it's a good course. All right, just giving them a snippet of, or a snippet, I hope I'm correct, of the course itself. All right, so this is media. If you want to put in media, if you also want to put in material for this particular lesson itself. All right, then this discussion, I don't want to allow comments. All right, so I'll turn that off. So if you want to put in material to you, just the same way we did it for the entire course itself, so you can go ahead and do that. So once you do this, just go ahead and publish. All right, so you go ahead and publish. So you can see permalink is not available because it has not been assigned. We've not assigned this course to, this lesson to any course right now. All right, so with what we've done, let me come back to lessons. So just go ahead and create as many lessons as possible. This is sorting it in according to the title. So let me just try to sort it based on the dates. Let's see, so that the one I just created, we should be able to, can see it here. This is one I just created here. You can see not assigned yet. So this is how you go ahead to create as many lessons as possible. All right, so away from lesson now, let's go ahead and check out questions. So if you come over to questions, now this is where you can create different questions. All right, all these ones that you can just go ahead and delete it. You create different questions that you're going to use for your quizzes. Okay, and to create a question, you can, this is where you just come over here, add a new question. All right, so you can give your question a title. You can just give it question 1, question 2, whatever, and just title it so that you can at least have idea of what's in the question. Question 1 on resistor. Okay, so once that is done, then you come and select the question type. All right, so we have different question types. Is it you want to use a true or false, a multi-choice question, a single choice, or fill in the blank? All right, so let's say I want to do true or false. All right, then I'll go ahead and click on create question. All right, now this is where you go ahead and type the question. All right, so let's say, right, so the answer should be false. All right, then you can select how many points do you want to give for this particular question. You can give an hint, and then if you want explanation after, you can say explanation will be displayed when the students click the check answer. If you want to put this, fine, you can go ahead and do this. So this is how you can go ahead and create as many questions as possible. So once you are done, go ahead and click on publish. All right, so that means that question has been published. Now we've created one lesson. Now once you have done creating questions, now you come to quizzes. All right, so you come to quizzes. Now this is where you're going to create a quiz. That quiz I said you can use as an assessment. All right, so you come over here and click on add new quiz. So this quiz now you're going to give it a title. So for the title now I can give it maybe assessment 1, okay, or quiz 1. So let me just use assessment. So let me just call it assessment 1. All right. Now for you to include the question, so just come here and just click on question bank. All right, so you're going to see the list of questions that you've created already. So let me use this one that we just created now, this question 1. So I'll just select it, and you can select as many as possible, okay? So I'll just click on add. All right, so you can see it here. All right, so if you create as many questions as possible, just go ahead and add them, right? And you can rearrange them. Now this is for the quiz. Now you select how many minutes. Okay, you can see set 0 for limit. What's the duration for this assessment for the quiz? How many minutes do you want them to use on it? So if it is minutes, if it is hours, if it is days or weeks, you select it. So maybe this now I just want to for 1 minute, okay, or maybe 2 minutes. So you can see set 0 for no limits. That means it can take as many time as possible. All right. So for the grading, passing grade rather, is currently set to 80%. If you want to adjust it to best fit, you can see this condition must be achieved in order to pass the quiz. All right. So instant check, if you want this, allow students to immediately check their answers while doing the quiz. If you want this option, just check it. If you want to do negative marking, if you want to do minus for skip, that means if maybe you have like 5 questions and maybe the person do question 1, and when the person gets to question 2, maybe because the person doesn't know it and skip it to question 3, there's going to be a minus for skipping. If you want that option, you can check this. All right, how many times can they retake? Okay, how many times can the user retake this quiz? Okay, so you can set it how many times you want them to take the quiz. Maybe either they pass or they fail and they want to just retake it. Do you want to allow that? Put it there. And if you don't want it, you just leave it to 0. All right, so just set it to 0 if you don't want them to be able to retake the quiz. All right, so allow students to review the quiz after they finish. So all these options are here for you. So once you are done, you just go ahead and publish. All right, so with that now, I've walked you through how to create lesson, how to create your questions. Your questions is what you are going to use to create your quizzes. All right, so now let's come back to the course we are creating, and that was what I mentioned earlier. So let me just refresh so that we can have access to them. And that's why I said earlier that before you start to create your course, make sure you already make provision for your lessons, your questions, and then your quizzes if you want to use quizzes. All right, so now let's come back to the curriculum section. So you can see under this electrical component, so I'll just click on this arrow right here. Okay, so I can see, I'll just come and select my question, content bank. I'll select it. So it will show me I have under lessons and then quizzes. Okay, you can see what we need was lesson. So I'm just going to select this. I think this is one I want to use. So whatever lesson you want to use, if you want to use the both of them, fine. And I'll just click on add. All right, so you can see now you can have as many lessons as possible. Okay, so if you also want to add quiz, so just also come to your question bank, select quiz, and then you can see this was one I just created as the assessment 1. I'll click on add, so you can rearrange them as best fit. Now the same way we did this section 1. All right, how we created this section 1. If you want to create a new section, you can see the option right here. Maybe I want to create and in another section, maybe I want to call this one electrical laws. So you can just go ahead and add. This is another. You can see section 2. This is section 1. This is section 1. You can see it has 2 items, and this is section 2. So the same process you are going to do. So once you are done, just make sure you update or you save. All right. So let me now come back to an already created course to explain again so that you can understand. So just like I can see, this is the section. For this now, it's having 5 sections. You can see it. This is the short description. Under this one, it has 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I think okay, yeah, it has 4. Now you'll notice that these first 3 lessons, you can see, you can view it. That is why it's showing this. This one is not, you can't view it. And if I should go to section 2, okay, they made it accessible for you to view. So all of these options are available to you, depends on what you intend to achieve. All right, so with that now, that's a walkthrough on how to create a course. So I hope it's clear enough. So guys, if you are finding value in the video, please give the video a thumbs up. If you are yet to subscribe, kindly go ahead and click on that subscribe button to subscribe to the channel. The next thing we want to look at now is to look at some of the other options that are available under LearnPress, because if you look at courses, lesson, quizzes, question, So now let's look at some other things that we have not looked at. Now let's look at orders. So under orders is where you're going to see, once we start making orders, when people start purchasing your course and the likes, you're going to see it here. Away from that, next one is certificates. All right, so you can see the option here. This is where you're going to add certificates. We are still going to come back to this. Then statistics, this is here. Once you start to make sales, total order, total course, you can see total courses, total instructor, total students. All right, I'm the only student here. All right, so that's why it's showing 1. And I'm also an instructor. It's also showing 1. All right, and I think the course we just created is what is showing 1 here. Okay, so that's it on statistics. So once everything, okay, this for today. So last 7. Okay, let's see. That's just for today anyway. That's why it's showing all of this. Okay, total instructor, total courses. This total course is the one we created today. That's why it's showing 1, because I know we have more than 1 course right here. Okay, you can use this to select the range. Okay, and there's a custom. All right, so away from that, the next one is these add-ons. Now these add-ons, these are other add-ons courtesy of this LearnPress. However, these particular add-ons, they are also plugins anyway. They are not free. These are paid, and that is why the ones I installed we are using under Eduma, and then you come to plugins. Okay, these ones are free. Okay, remember Eduma is a theme itself, so they made some themes available. I mean, some plugins rather available for free, and that's why this theme is coming highly recommendable, because you can also install this plugin LearnPress directly from your WordPress when you come over to plugin and then install it. But you have to also pay for all of this. But with Eduma, the theme I'm recommending, you're going to get some of these add-ons. You're also going to get them for free. All right, so you don't really have business here. So away from that, then comments. So the next thing is comment. This is where you're going to see all the comments. Now this comment is under this LearnPress, and then course reviews. Okay, so all the reviews, you're going to be seeing them right here. If you want to approve one, approve them, you find them here. Now away from that, you see enrolled students under LearnPress. You see it right here, enrolled students. So once students start enrolling for your course, you're going to get the information right here. So let's close this. Now the next one is tools. This is the tools right here. Here you can see under course data, you can reset some course progress. Okay, you can also reset user progress. All right, so these are self-explanatory. You can also, from the back end, okay, as an admin, you can also assign course to some user. All right, you can see, choose a course, and then you can just assign some course to them automatically, and some other things here. Okay, so I don't need to go here. Now let's come over to certificates. Now, how do you intend to add certificates? So to add a certificate to your online course website, so just make sure that you already have your certificate plugin already installed. That's what will give you this menu. So once you come here to add certificates, so click on add new certificate, and you can have as many certificates as possible. Okay, so you can see there's a template that you can actually choose from. Okay, and you can also create your own template. Okay, so if you want to create your own template, let's say you want to create yours from blank, so you can give it a name. So let me just call this certificate 1. All right, so let's just say I want to create a new one. So I just click on this plus here, and then I'll choose. So once you put in your certificate title, now you will have in a screen like this. Now these are some templates that you can work with to create your certificate. If you want to use it, just click on it. You can see after applying the template, we'll delete all current content on your canvas. All right. So if you want to use it, go ahead and use it. And if you don't want to use it, you can also upload yours. So you can see right here where it's having upload. All right, so if you want to upload your certificate. Now, if you want to create your own custom certificate, if you have knowledge of designing, you can do so. You can also come over to Canva to create your certificate. You can just search for under templates, maybe you look for certificate of completion or any keyword relating to certificate. Now, look for the one that best fits what you want to do. Then let's say I want to use this, for example, I can just click on it. So I'll just click on customize. So next thing is to just edit the information. Certificate of completion is presented to. So I'll remove the name. So I'll remove this name. Then the general instructor. So I can just take this default name out. Then creative director, I'll just take out. Okay, if you want to retain, maybe you want to retain a particular information on the certificate, maybe something. Then don't forget to add your logo for your online course. Then this place, this for his achievements and participation in. So in this, I can just take this part off. All right, so I'll have the title of the course underneath. You can just be creative, okay? So once you are done, you can just go ahead and download. So that's share, you click on download, and then you've downloaded like that. Okay, so that's how you can go ahead and create your certificate if you want to use Canva. So I can come back here. So I'll come back here and click on upload. Now what I want to do is I'll just come over here and click on upload. I'll come to my media library. Now there's a particular one I want to use, upload. Click on select. So I'm selecting the one from so this one I just created, but there was one I created earlier in a previous video. So let me use this. So I'll just open this up. So this is it right here. I'll just click on insert layer. All right, so this is it right here. So if you look at this, you can just have your logo here, certificate of completion presented to. You can see I didn't include the name for. So at this point here, I'm going to include the course. So what we want to do now is to add some element. Now you can see if you want to bring in some background color. These are the earlier templates. Then I want to bring in some elements. So I click on element. I want to bring in some okay, under the course, under this now, you can see student's name. So I'm just going to drag this. I'm going to select student name. You can see this is it right here. I'll position it. Oh, I think I selected it twice. So let me just, that means I'll need to delete it. Okay, so let's see. So the option to delete will be under layers. Okay, so you can see student name. I selected it twice. So let me delete one. So this is the student name. I want the student name to be here. So I'll position it right there. Okay. So again, I'll go back to elements, instructor name. Did I make provision for instructor name? So if you make provision for instructor name, you just select it. It will appear wherever you want the instructor name to be on your certificate. You put it there. But note, you must have indicate that it's instructor name. You can also format it. You can see the size. Maybe I want it to be smaller. I want the instructor name to be smaller. So you can see it right here. Maybe that's where I want to put it. Other info, maybe on the course title. So this is it. So course title, I'll bring it here. I can also make it smaller so that it will match. For completing, then the course title will appear right here. So here I put in course start date, this is it here, and I can just put it here. I want it to be the same font size with this 10. So I can select this, I can make it also 10 to maintain consistency. All right. So the other things again, if you want to put in a QR code, you select it, you can see a QR code. So that QR code, they can easily scan it, you know, to show what, where, and other information about the certificate generally. All right, so whenever you want to put it, let me just reduce this. Okay, let me just put it somewhere here. Let me move this. Okay, so undo. All right, so just find somewhere that you can put it depending on the design. So we also have custom text, you know, apart from course title, instructor name, student. If you want to put in custom text, just select custom text, okay, and then you're just going to put in the text that you want to put. All right, so I don't need this, let me just delete it. All right, so you can also play with the background opacity and every other thing. Once you are done doing this, just go ahead and click on publish, and with that, you've created your certificate. So you can create as many certificates as possible. So you can see it now. If I should come over now to certificates, I can see we have one certificate. You can create, like I said, you can create as many as possible for maybe for different courses, all right, or for different instructor. All right, now let me use the course we just created now. Let me now go and select a certificate for it. So I can come here and click on edit. All right, so if I should scroll down to certificates, so you can see certificates. All right, so this is the certificate one. You can see it here. I think it's loading up. So I'll just go ahead and assign it. All right, so I've assigned a certificate to this course, and then just go ahead and update. All right, so with that, that's how to do the certificate part. So if I should come back to certificates now, so you can see that it has been assigned to this course, basic electricity. All right, so that is it on everything on our LearnPress creating course and the like. So the next thing is now let's work on pages. So now I'm back to my dashboard. All right, so I'm currently on my dashboard. And the next one I'll do is let's look at the home page of our website. All right, you can see how do you go ahead to update the information that you're having on your home page. You can see maybe you want to update it, you want to add your photograph, like I said, you want to update the information on your home page. How do you go ahead to do that? And alongside other pages. So for you to do that from your dashboard, so just come over to pages. So once you're on pages, you're going to see a list of pages that you currently have on your website. Now, all these pages were created because, you know, at first we imported in demo. Okay, so that's one of the advantage there. All the pages are going to be created for you. All right, for that of the home page is this demo one-click instructor. So the first thing I would like to do is to do a quick edit and change the name to just home. Right, or I can just change it to, or I can also change it to the name of the website itself, maybe like PE Academy like we are using. All right. So the slug also, I want to change it to home. All right. So basically the slug is the URL name. Okay. Just update it. All right, I think it's better like this. All right, so for you to do that, you can also do it with Elementor Page Builder. So what I'll just open this in a new tab. All right, so if you're also on the page, let me view the page. So I can open this also in a new tab. So while this is open up with Elementor Page Builder and I open up the website, now once you're on the website and you are logged in as the admin, you're going to see this menu here. All right, it's only when you're logged in as an admin that you can see this. Okay, and then you see this option to edit with Elementor. You can also click it and to also take you here trying to open up Elementor Page Builder. So once it opens up, this is what you're going to see since you're opening it for the first time. So you can just go through some of this walkthrough or you can just close it. So I'm just going to close it. All right, so once you open up a page using Elementor Page Builder, you're going to be having a screen that looks like this. You're going to see the different section of that particular page, like I'm scrolling right here. All right, and if you should scroll up, all right, we're also going to see this top section here. All right, this part is to show you how your website looks like on different mobile, different device rather. So this is for desktop, like you are seeing here. If you want to see how your website will look like on tablets, all right, so just select the tablets mode. If you want to see how your website look like on mobile, all right, and the aim of this is to make sure you have a responsive website, because sometimes you might be creating your website in desktop version and when you switch to mobile it doesn't look good. I'm sure you might have come across some website that looks good on desktop but they don't look good on mobile. All right, so to correct all of these things is why we have all of these three options right here. Okay, and once you are working, let's say your website, there's this option to publish, that's like to save your work. All right, so if you make any changes on your website or you add any other thing to this particular page rather, okay, you do make sure you publish. This is to preview. Okay, if you make any changes, maybe you want to preview it and see what it looks like. Then this is called structure. So if I click on it, this will show up. You can move it around or you can just place it somewhere at the right side. Okay, but I like to move it around. So basically the idea behind this is to make you to navigate the different section of your website. Okay, so you can see it's divided into section. All right, so let's say if I click here now, the section that owns this place I click on is right here. So you can see, and if I should open it up, it will show me the different elements that is within here. So another advantage of this is that there are sometimes if you have a kind of like complex design or layout, picking some element might be very difficult, but with the help of this structure, you can easily pick them and know which element is being used. Okay, so away from that, we also have this part right here. Okay, just a quick run through. This is for revision. If you make any changes you want to undo, just click here to do that. And if you click on this add element, these are all the elements that are available to you to create all the sections and all the elements right here. For example, if I should click here now, we have heading. So that means this part here, this text you are seeing here was created using heading. And once I click on it, you can see this single instructor right here. Single instructor, you can see this is it right here. We have, let's see, the best demo online education for. Okay, so you can see the best demo online education for. So if you want to change it, this is how you're just going to do. You just click on it and update everything to suit what you want to use. All right. So you can see here, if I should click here now, hello there, my name is Kenny White. So as I click on, you can see hello there, this is it right here. Kenny White should be under, okay, so this is it right here. My name, this was made bold, Kenny White. All right. So if you want to bring a new one, just click on this plus and then you'll find all the elements right here. Okay, you won't definitely you won't need everything. Okay, but anyone that you need, just drag it into whatever section that you want to use them. And anyone that you click on, for example, like this heading now, you're always going to see content, style, and advanced in most cases. Now this should be an image. Yeah, this is an image. You can see content, style, and advanced. All right. So the content is where we have is for image as an example. If you want to know what you are working on, you see it edit image. This is where you're going to put in your image. If you want to make it to link to something, you put it here. Then the style is where you're going to have different formatting option as long as that widget is concerned. This one, if you want to adjust the width, the height, the opacity, you know, the box shadow and the likes. If you're working with heading now, if I should click here where we have hello there. So you see under the contents, these are all the options. All right. And then for style, when you come to style, that's where you can select your typography. So if I should click on this pencil now, I can select the size. Maybe I want it to be bigger so you can see it. So let me return it back to 28. All right, so that is it for, if you want to change the font family, this is it here. If you want to transform it, if you want to increase the line height and spacing, that's everything under typography. If you want to change the text color, you can do so from here. The main title color, main typography, title typography, then the subtitle, which is this, if you want to change the color and everything. All right, and then under advanced, there are more options. Now, you might not really need to do more, but for tutorial purpose, if you can just go through them to see what we have motion effects and every other thing right here. Like for example, this motion effects, if you work on the entrance animation, let's say fade in, so you can see it will fade in like that. If I should choose zoom in up, okay, so you can see, so all of those effects are available to you. But then the main aim is to just show you how to modify all of this information. Once you click on them, you can see it will appear here, and then you can update it appropriately and accordingly. Okay, now it's all of this button. Now this is a button, so if I click on it, you can see edit button. It's showing view course. All right, so this is it right here. Text view courses. You want to change it to something else, fine, you can also do that. And then if you want to link it to the page you want to link it to, you add it here. So add icon, there's no icon added. If you want to add icon, then under style is where you can work with the color. Okay, you can increase the width, you can increase the padding. The padding talks about, if you look at the edges, they are curved a little. So that's what, okay, no, that's not for the, this one is for padding, that's the space around it. Okay, the space around it. Okay. So if you want to do color, so you can see the text color is set to black. The background is set to yellow. If you over it, you see that the shade become deeper a bit. So if I should come to over, you can see the color is a little, is different. This is E6A303 and this is FFB606. Okay, so that is how you can go ahead and just click on any of the section. Now for this next section, which is courses, if I click here, popular course, I see popular courses. So if you want to change this, fine. And then for this course section, you can see this was done using list courses. All right, so that was the widget that was used to create this particular section. All right, and there are different options here. You can change the scale. You can see it's currently set to slider. If you want to use the default, you can see this is how it will appear. If you want to use the tab mode, the tab view, you can see this is how it will appear. You can see it will show the different category and the course that are under those categories. All right, let me set it back to, I think it was on slider. And then if you want to make sure maybe it's a particular category that you want to show up here, you can select which of this category. But if you don't want it, to just pick from the entire category. So number of posts is set to 6. If you want to increase it, you can do that. I think if you use the tab one, you can select, okay, you can see all the, is it tab or the default? You can see the default will show everything, and you can say how many columns. Is it 3 columns, 4, as high as 6 columns? All right, so all these options here are available to you. If you now come to style, you can set the column gap. Another thing I also want to mention is if you are making any changes right here for any of the widget, make sure you are seeing the changes. All right, if you are not seeing it, just return it back to what it was. For example, we have column gap here, it's set to 30. Now, if I should increase it now, okay, now you can see where the gap is. That means the gap from here to here is increased, from here to here has also increased. Okay, so that's what that works. But if for any reason you are adjusting it and you are not seeing where the adjustment is taking place, just return it back to the original value. All right, so under courses also there are some border width, okay, and every box shadow. This is not enabled. If I should enable this now, okay, you can see there's a shadow around all of these courses. But if you don't want to, just click on this, return back to default, border color. Now for the image, you can see spacing, overlay. You know, all of these options are just available to you. And this is also a button, just the same way the settings for this button is similar to this button and is similar to this button. All right, so all of this section, you just have to click on them and start to update them. If there's any section that you don't want, you can just, you know, delete it. You can see delete section, and that is how you can go ahead. For example, this section now, you can link this to your blog, okay, so that once they click on it, it will take them to your blog page, and you can see link title. Link title. So here is enter the link. This podcast, if you have a podcast that you want to link them to. Now, it's not compulsory, it should be blog, podcast, and videos. You can be creative and link it to something else, maybe your portfolio, maybe something else that you are working on that you want to share on your website. You can also do so. This is for testimonial. So for you to update this testimonial, so just click on it, and then you can see it right here. Just click on each of them. Under manual, you can change the name. Then you can also change the contents of the testimonial. All right. So if you just, for example, this is 5. If you want to use just 2 or 3, you can just, maybe I want to delete this, just do this. All right. So it can be as simple as that. Now, this particular section is powered by MailChimp. Under plugin, so if I should come to the dashboard now, under plugin, we have this MailChimp for WordPress. So this is not yet connected. So let me click on it again. Where are you? So under this, you can see we have forms and this. So what this does is it helps you to get emails. All right. If you want to get emails, you just have to create a MailChimp account, configure it, and then this section you just put in the short code. You can see this is the short code here. It should bring, so anybody that puts in their email, you see their email in your MailChimp account. So this page ends, okay, this part 2 is also part of the page. So you can see trusted by over 6,000 students. Maybe yours is not to 6,000. You can reduce it or increase it or use something different. Now you also notice that there's an image showing in the background. So if I should click on these 6 dots right here, it will also show me this layout, style, and advanced. All right, these are the options there. But under style, you can see here, this is the image you are seeing here. But then the image is not showing well. That is because there's what we call a background overlay. This is it right here. Okay, so there is a background overlay, and this is the opacity is set to 0.7. So if I should reduce the opacity, the image becomes more obvious. Let me return it back. And the essence of this is just to create that contrast balance so that you can see the text, and then the text can show properly over the background. All right. So that's the same way we did for this. You're also going to do for other pages that were created with Elementor. So don't forget, any changes you do, always publish. All right, that's just a way of saving your work. All right, so now let me come back to pages again. So let's see under pages. So if I should come here and click on pages now. Now, or not all the pages were created with Elementor, but any page that was created with Elementor, you see it here, Elementor, 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 Elementor. This is a block section. Now, this one was not created with Elementor. That's why you are not seeing Elementor right there. All right, you can see this FAQ was created using Elementor. Now, there are some pages that were not created using Elementor Page Builder. For example, I think this forget password. Let's see. So you can see there is no option like edit with Elementor. So if I should open this in a new tab, edit, all right, and also my accounts page. So these ones were created using shortcode. Okay, so I'll leave you a link in the description so you can see some of those shortcode. For example, you can see this was created using this code. This is just the only thing you need to put in and the page will be created. All right. Although you can also use Elementor, but you still create a section where you put in this code. All right. So that is it for pages. Like I said, some of these pages are created. Now, if you have a page that you want to create on your own, so you can see this option here, add new page. Add page. So just click on it to add page. So here you put in your title. All right. So once you put in your title, come over here, especially if you want to create your page with Elementor Page Builder, right? Then you select your template. You can choose between the default template, maybe Elementor full width, okay? Elementor full width, or maybe the default template. And then once you have done that, you might not need to play out with your layout, okay? Depending on what you want to do. So once you have done that, just go ahead and publish. Okay, once you put in your title, you go ahead and publish. Once that is published, you click this option to edit with Elementor, and then you'll be able to create a page with Elementor. But if you want to use shortcode, just come here and then you just type in some of those shortcode depending on the type of page that you want to create. Okay, so basically that is it for page on how to create page and edit the pages of online course website. All right, so let's move to the next part of this video. All right, so back to the dashboard again. So this is what our website currently looks like. And then what if you want to update this your menu? All right, you can see this menu that we are having here. How do you go ahead to update it if you want to change it? So to do that from your dashboard, you come over to appearance and then you click on menu. All right, so by default, you're going to see this main menu. I think this is the menu that's currently being used because you see courses and then you see pages. All right, so if you look at it, we have courses, we have pages, portfolio and the likes. You can see portfolio and portfolio 2. All right, so you can also go ahead and create your own pages. So you can just do so. Once you come over, you can see create a new menu. All right, so let's just say we want to use, let's call this main menu 1. Main menu 1. All right, so just go ahead and click on create menu. All right. So if you want to use this mega menu option, what this does is it allows you to create a menu that looks like this. You can see with this kind of effect. Okay. Look at these pages with this kind of effect. All right. Okay. So if you want to enable that, you can just click on enable. Although there's more to it. Okay. But you want to also add pages now to this menu. There is a separate tutorial that I'm going to explain how to get this done. All right, so you might need to watch that so that you can know how to get something that looks like this. So away from that, if you want to add pages to your menu, all right, just like every other menu, so you can see we have pages here. So let me just click on view all. So this is where you're going to select what you want to show on that menu. Maybe I want to use courses. All right, maybe I want to add FAQ. And then maybe I want to add. Now, if you are looking forward to, you are confused on what to include in your, or how to set up your menu, I always, like our advice is always check out other online course platform and see how they structure their menu. All right, so that will give you an idea on some of the things that you should put on your menu. Okay, so let's see, become an instructor. So I want to use, okay, let me use this, become an instructor. All right, so let's say I want to use those three. Once I've selected them, I'll go ahead and click on okay, before I click on save to menu, sorry, I'll come over here, then I'll select the pages I want to use. I selected courses, become an instructor, and then let's see what else can we just put. Maybe FAQ, for example. Then you see this add to menu, so click on add to menu. So apart from pages, okay, you can see them here. You can also have posts. You can also put posts in your menu. You can also use custom link. The meaning of custom link is you're not going to put a link and a text here that once they click on it, it will appear on your menu. It will take them to whatever link you put in here. You can also use category and this WooCommerce endpoint. All right. So, but one thing I noticed about online courses is that the menus are not always much. All right. They can have sub menu created in form of a mega menu, but you know, it can be in form of a mega menu like this. Once you over one, you have some other options, but at the top like this, they are always very few. Okay, so you can also rearrange this. You can see you can have this in either way. Then if you want this to be a sub menu, you just move it to the right. It will become a sub menu under become an instructor. Okay, so let me bring these courses. Let me just do it like this. So once you are done, you go ahead and then you save. All right, so you can create as many menus as possible depending on where you want to place them. Okay, so but basically that is how you can go ahead and create menus. So if you want to know how to do this, okay, I'll leave a link to it in the description of this video so that you can get how you can create something that looks like this. Okay, so away from menu, now let's go ahead and look at one other feature right here. So let's come to this Thim Elementor and then we come over to all templates. Now, basically what this allows us to do is for our footer. So if I should scroll down to our footer section of our website, the footer actually starts from here. All right, this place, and then this is also part of the footer. Now, this design, this layout was created using Thim Elementor. All right, so if you come there, you can see it right here under all templates. You can see we have the footer. So this one right here for the footer bottom, and this is the footer itself. Like I said, this is the footer itself, and this is what's referred to as the footer bottom. All right. So to modify this or to edit this, so what you do is from this theme element to all templates. So let's start from the footer. If you want to view it, just let me open this in a new tab. You can see the option to view, so you can see it right here. Okay. So if you want to edit it, just click on edit with Elementor. So that is opening up already. So once this opens up, let me just close this. So this is where you can also modify this information like this now. So this was created using image. All right. So instead of using image, let's just use logo. So I'm going to click here and then logo. So once you bring in your site logo and then you drag it in just like this. Okay. Right. It's better like using the site logo instead of image. So I can just go ahead and delete this. All right, so it's better like this. So if you click on it, so if there's anything you want to change, if you want to maybe change the width or the height, you can also do so. Now this text under it, if you want to change it, for currently it has the phone number, the location, and email address to contact. So once you click on here, it was created using header info. All right, so you can update the information right here. If you want to add more, you can duplicate this and update the information or you add more. Now, apart from this, you can also add any other thing you want to put. If I click on this plus, now let's say you want to also add some image or some text. So I can just look for maybe like a text editor. I'll bring it and I'll drag it in. maybe you want to put in some text. All right, if the text is too close to each other, like this, coming. So like this now, this text is too close. You can come to advanced, and then you can add some margin. So I'll link this at the top. I can put a margin of 30, right? So to give it some space in between. You can also use divider. So you can just click on plus here. But I think margin is okay. Margin is okay instead of using divider because it will not look too good on mobile, right? So once you do this, once you click on it also, if you want to change the color, so let me show you, let's see. I think the color is quite okay here, but if for any reason you want to format the color, so once you click on it, everything that has to do with color and size is always under style, all right? So you can set your alignment. If I put it to center, it will look like this. If I put it to the left, for color, you can see the options for color, background color, the typography, then the icon color. You can see on normal, if it is over, that means if I over any of them, the color should change. This is what it's for, but normal, the icon size and everything. So this is where you can do this. Now for this particular section of the footer, again, if you want to get idea for your footer, you can also get ideas from other online course websites. Okay, for example, this place that has let's see, this place that has company, you can just have it to be top courses. So let me say I want to put in top, but let me just say top category. You can just use any category. You can use something related. Then right here, you can instead of this, you can just show some courses. Okay, instead of this about, you can change it to name of a course. I think we have basic electricity, right? Basic electricity. Then the link. What you just do is you go to your courses. All right. So let's see. So what I'll just do is I'll go to courses where we have all the courses that we've created. So I'll just copy the link, come back here, and then I'll come and paste it here. All right, so I think you can also do something like, okay, so just copy the link. I think that's fine like that, and then you paste it there. So you can also do the same thing for where we have blog, contact, and teacher. All right, so for this also you can use something else. This is link, courses, event gallery, support. Okay, then this we can change it to something else. Now let me show you something. So now I'm currently on the footer of some of the top online course websites. I'm currently on EDX. So you can see how they structure their footer. They have, you can see course category, and then they list out some of the courses, their category. And I know this is possible because they have a large course directory, okay? So, but just to give you an idea, you can see step-by-step guide. These are also some courses. Okay, and at the end of the day, you're going to be seeing more courses. So you can see the way it was structured. The connect part can have a link to connect them. So this is for Udemy also. You can see it. They have it's just a way of arranging their courses in the footer section. Basically, that's what I see there. Then the same thing with Coursera. You can see professional courses, Google AI certificates, everything, course and specialization and everything. And you can see they are using some of the, you can see skills. This is just like a category also for certain courses under accounting, to bring out courses under accounting. This will bring out courses under cybersecurity and the likes. Okay, so the reason I'm showing you this is just for you to have idea of how you can be creative with your footer. All right, so once you are done with this, if you okay, this is also part of the footer. All right, this you can also update this to be your copyright text, and if you don't need it, you can just delete it. Okay, this privacy terms, sitemap, and the likes. If you want to put it somewhere here, you can also put that. And if you don't need it, you can just delete it. All right. Now this is showing black. The background here is black. If you want to change it, just click on these 6 dots. All right, and then you come to style. So you can see you can from here you can also change the background color. All right. So maybe you want to change it to. All right. So you can see you can change the color right here. So let me just undo that. Then you go ahead and publish. All right, so what we've done here, so that's how you can update all of this right here. So let me close this footer. If I come here, the same thing with this footer bottom. Let's view it, and let me also open it in Elementor. Let it be opening up. So you can see this part where it says become an instructor. Remember, if we are on our website like this, when you scroll down, this is what shows up. Okay, this part. If you also don't need it, you can you can use it for something else. You can see the effect once you slide in. It's a sticky background. I think that's what they call it, sticky background. Okay, so you can see it's sticky background. Now you would have noticed this guy here. This is the cookies thing that we set up at the almost at the beginning of the video. Okay, so this is what it's for. All right. So this is, you can use it for something else, and if you want to maintain this text or maybe for something else, okay, so this was what was used to create it. All right, if you want to change anything, once you click on it, you can just go ahead and change it. It was also, you can see it's similar to Elementor. All right, so it's not something too difficult. For the background, so for it to, the background now, you can see I'm trying to select the background, the entire section that holds the background. I can't do that. And this is where that structure I mentioned earlier comes handy. If I should click it now, okay, I've clicked on the structure and it has picked the entire background. All right, but if I try to pick it, you can see this menu is not allowing me to pick it. Okay, but with this structure, I've clicked it. If I come over to style, you can see this image you are seeing in the background. This is it. Then there's a background overlay. Okay, you can see it here. All right, so that's one of the advantage of this structure. And if you can't find yours, once you click here, so come and it can go again. All right, so that is it on this theme Elementor. Then this top bar. Now, once you're on it, you can see there are some different conditions, like this footer now. It comes with some certain condition. So I think there's no condition here. All right, so let's come back to all templates. Now for this top bar, so let's see where we have this top bar. If I should click on view, let's view where that is. Now the top bar is this part here. Let me show you on the website itself. If I should go to home. Now this part where we have the contact, the phone number, email, this link, and then the profile and logouts. Okay, so that is where we have that top bar. So let's go ahead and see some of the options that are available. If I click on edit with Elementor, so now it has opened up with Elementor, and you see we have contact, this phone number, the email, this. All right, so if you look at it from the website itself, this is it right here. All right, now something just came to my mind. Now you might decide not to use this top bar. All right, and you can also use it for something else. And this is what I'm saying, because one of the important things I'm seeing here is this login and logout and profile option. Okay, you can also have it to be part of this menu option. All right, it all depends on you. Okay, and you can also use this top bar to pass an information. Maybe you are doing a discount or maybe an announcement. You can use it as an announcement. Okay, you can also use it for that. All right, so now let me come back here and show you. Now, one of the things that I just think is the major thing here is this login and logout, like I said, and the element that is responsible for that is this login pop-up. All right, so if you click on plus and you find and you search for login, so you can see it here, login pop-up. So anywhere you want to use it apart from this top bar, so this is what you're just going to use, and then you drag it, you drag it into that Elementor page that you want to have it, or section. Okay, so but away from that, if you just want to edit it, you just click on it and then you update it. Like this demo account is not supposed to be here, so just delete it. If you want to, your contact, if you want to put in your contact information, just click on it and update it. Maybe contact at academy.co and that and .com rather. Okay, maybe .com or something, or maybe GBT. Let me just here it said GBT. .com. All right, and if you want to learn how to create custom emails, like you can see here, this is showing contact at gpt.com, gpt.com. If you want to know how to create something like this, there's a separate video for that. You find it under video on how to create a custom emails. All right, so if you want to update anything here, you can do so. And if you also want to, I can also duplicate this. Click here, duplicate, such that I'm just going to delete this section. So I'll go ahead and delete. All right, so I have this entire section, and then I'm going to centralize it. Vertical alignment is set to middle. What about the okay, then I can just change this. So maybe I'll just use one. Okay, then instead of this, I can just bring in a text editor and put it here. All right, so with this now I can come here and delete. Click here. Okay, I've deleted that, so I'll just bring in my text editor. All right, so you can see now this text editor, I can use it to make an announcement, maybe get 50% of your, as you can see, get 30% off with the code Academy. Right, so I can go ahead and format this. I can come to style, like maybe I want it to be at the center, maybe I want to change the text color. There's no link, so the text color, and then maybe the background color and all of this. So if you want to change the background color now, for this I'll have to select the entire container, come to style, background, you can see the color. Now maybe I want to use this color. You can just be creative. All right. And for this now, maybe I also want this section to be above this particular section. So I'll bring in my structure. So you can see we only have two sections. I can just drag this down. So you can see. So you can play around with all of this. It's not compulsory you maintain the same design or layout that we have. You can just play around with it to get what you want. Okay, you can see this is at the center. If you want to put it left or right, it all depends on you. Then don't forget to publish. Okay. So now let's come back to theme. I think that's just it. If you look at this menu right too, just try to figure out where exactly this is. Okay, and then you can go ahead and modify it. So far, we've covered a larger part of this video. All right, so there are still some important things I'm still going to be sharing with you for the remaining parts of this video. And there's one important thing that I've not also covered, which is payment. Okay, we are still going to look at that shortly, how people can make payments for some of your paid courses. All right, so we are still going to look at that shortly. Now, the next thing we want to look at now is customization. There's an option called customization. If you come to appearance and then you come over to customize. All right, so once it opens up and then you are going to see a screen like this, you're going to see your website on the side, all right, especially the home page, and then you'll see a lot of options like this. So let's go through them one after the other and see what they do. All right, starting with general. So if I should click on general, we're going to start with the logo. So this is where you're going to upload your logo. We already have a logo. If you want to bring in yours, you can go ahead and just click on select image. All right, so this is where you're going to select your logo from. If you don't have it uploaded, just come to upload files and then select files, and then you'll be able to upload it from your computer, or then you drag it in. All right, so that is for logo. You want to put in a sticky logo too, so that if you are using the option of a sticky menu, such that once you scroll down then you have a sticky menu, all right, you are going to see it right there. All right, then away from that, we have the layout. So this way, if you want to adjust your layout, again, I need to emphasize that since we've imported a demo, you might not need to touch some of these things, but I just need to mention it so that you can know where to find them, just in case you need to. So this is for the site layout. This is currently the layout that is currently there. If I should change it to this now, let's see. Okay, and again, just like when we were doing Elementor, you can see that there is a space on. You can see that there's a space right here because the width is no longer full width. Okay, you can see this is boxed now instead of content wide. All right, again, if you make any changes right here, just like we were doing with Elementor, and you didn't really see any significant change, just return it back to what it was. For example, if I should select content box and I didn't notice anything, just go ahead and put it back to content width. Okay, content wide rather. All right, so this is for the page layout. This is talking about maybe you want to have a left sidebar. Maybe you don't want any sidebar, you want a right sidebar. All right, so this is a layout style. You can switch how the layout will look like. It all depends on you. Okay, so that's it for layout. We also have page title layout. This is for some pages. Let me see if I can see a page that can use to explain this. So this is how you want to lay out your page. Okay, for example, now it's currently set to this, and you see that the title is to the left. Let's see if we select this. So you can see selecting this now, it brings this the title of the page to the center. All right, and then we are having this breadcrumb below it. If I select this now, you see that the breadcrumb will be directly under the title. All right, so as you can see, so that's it for page layout. If you need to change anything, then the breadcrumb color that's that link that you're seeing under it. This is the color right here, and if you need to change it, away from here we have the colors. Okay, so this way you can also adjust the global colors for some certain parts of the entire website. All right, then let's see the social share. All right, so we have all of this social share, sortable social share button. Okay, now the typography, if you want to change some of the typography, that's the font family. Now this font family will not overwrite that of Elementor page. That's page created with Elementor. All right, so you need to take note of that. Then we have some extra features right here, like this back to the top. For example, this is it at the lower right. If you want to use this other one, you can go ahead and change it. If you also want to use preloader, so it is turned off, so you can also do this here. So away from this, then we also have utilities. This if you want to put in your Google Analytics code, your Google Pixel code, registrar redirect, and any of these login redirects. Okay, you can do that. And don't forget, any changes you do, just don't forget to always publish. Then custom CSS. If you want to use some custom CSS, you can. This is where you're going to put in those CSS and JavaScript. Then for the sidebar, sticky sidebar is turned on. Now you notice that when we were on the course page, when we are viewing a particular course, let me use one of the courses as an example. Okay, once this opens up, you notice that, okay, you can see that the sidebar is sticky. All right, you can see that while we are scrolling, you see that the sidebar will remain sticky. Okay, you see that it's not moving except when we get towards the end of the page. All right, so you can see that's because sticky sidebar is turned on. All right, so 404 page. So this is for the 404 error page. That's the page that does not longer no longer exist. Now this is for the header. So under the header layout, also if you want to adjust the way this header looks like, it's currently set to this. If we should change it to this now, let's see. It will change the way the header appears. So you can see right here. All right, if you also choose this option, it will change certain things with the way the header appears. So you can see. All right, so all of this, it all depends on you. Then the size, if you want to do full width, if you want to do the overlay position. All right, then we have toolbar. So these are the options under the toolbar. Enable border radius is turned off. All of these options are found within this header. All right, show toolbar, I think that's this upper section right here. Okay, so text color is set to this white and the likes. Okay, main menu. So this is for the main menu. Background color is none. The text color over is set to white, which is this right here. Okay, line active item. Okay, we have a button. If you want to change the size, the font and everything for the menu. Okay, then we have sticky menu. If you're also using sticky menu, these are the settings for sticky menu, sub menu, and then mobile menu. This is for the, now as you are doing this, if you want to see the mobile version, once you come down, you can switch between desktop, tablet, and mobile so that you can see what it looks like. All right, for the mobile menu now, the text color is, you can see, is dark. The text over is yellow. You can see it's showing yellow, and that is because we are having yellow here. All right, so let me take it back to desktop out from here, and then you can leave here. All right, so the next is site identity. So this is where you put in, this is another place you can put your site title, your tagline, and then your site icon. Remember, we've done this under settings and general. Okay, so let's leave here. All right, so no. So don't forget to always publish. So let's go back. And then for blog, okay, so if you have a blog, let's see the blog page. Let's see if we can get the blog page from here. All right, so you can get it from here. But if you are on the blog page, this is where you can select your blog layout. So let me go to my blog page. So I've opened up the blog page, and it's always advisable when you're on this customize section, make sure you are seeing the page. Now, blog page, this is how you can select how you want it to, the layout. You can see we have header, body, and right sidebar, and you can see that's what we are having here. We have a sidebar by the right. If I select this left now, you see that the sidebar will move to the left. All right, so why that is, you can see right here. Okay, so most times you can just settle with the right sidebar. There are other options available. The column grid, hidden page title is turned off, and every of all these options right here. Okay, away from that, archive page, singular pages, and meta tags. All right, so this meta tags has to do with all of this information you are seeing here. You want to show the author is shown, the date is shown. You can see the date is shown, the category is shown. This is it right here. The show comments number, you can see 0 comments. So if you don't want any of this, you can just turn it off and it won't appear under your blog. Okay, so that's it on blog. Now let's continue to courses. Okay, I got a snap right there. So if I should come over to courses now, so the same thing, if you want to do the course, you make sure you're on the course page. Under that, you will also see these settings under courses, archive, single pages collection. So away from course, then there are also some WooCommerce. We might not really need to do much here. Okay, so you can just leave WooCommerce. Events, I don't think I talked about events, but if you also set up events, these are the settings for events, also for portfolio. Then footer, all right, let me talk about this, the footer. Now we are using a custom kind of footer, so you might not really need to remember we use the Thim Elementor. That's this particular one. Let me go back there and show you. Let me reload this guy. So I think once that loads up, so you might not really need to do much under this footer section. Mobile footer nav bar, let me show you what this means. This is currently turned off. So if I'm on mobile view now, Now, if I should enable this, you'll see that we are going to be having a nav like you used to see on e-commerce. You can see this home, courses, search. You can see this is what is responsible for that. So if you want to use this, just turn it on. All right. But I kind of like it. Okay. It makes a lot of sense. So I'm going to leave it. So if anything that you want, this is where you can pick what exactly you want. If you want to edit it, just rearrange it rather. Okay. You can do so from here. You can select the colors that you want to use. Okay. So that is it for this. Then we also have widgets. So the sidebar, now this widget, I'll be showing you where you can do the widget itself. I don't like to do my widget from here. So let's still leave here. And then we have menu. All right, so let me go back to desktop. So I'll click here to set it to desktop view. Now that it's in desktop view, we are on menu. Now remember we created a separate menu earlier, this menu. So now I want to use this menu. I'm just going to select it and say, okay, primary menu. This is what I want to use as my primary menu. Okay, and let's see. So you can see it to show up as our primary menu. Okay, so don't forget to always publish any changes that you make on the site. All right, so with that, those are the options that are available here under the customize. All right, so now let's come back to our dashboard. If you want to exit out of your dashboard, so just press this X here and then it will take you back to your dashboard. Okay, it's taking us back to our website anyway. So you can just over here and then you click on on dashboard. So from the dashboard now, let's go to that widget I talked about earlier. All right, so after appearance, you can see customize, we have widgets. All right, so this is where we are going to set up the widget properly. Now you can see we have different options here. We have product archive sidebar. Now this is the sidebar itself. So in sidebar, we have popular courses, latest post and image. Now let me show you. Now, like you can see, we have right here, popular courses, latest post and image. Okay, so you can see this is for the sidebar. And then if you scroll down, it's showing 3. And then let's see, this is it, 1, 2, 3, and then an image. Okay, so if you want to change anything, you can also do that from this sidebar. Okay, now, but this one is just the sidebar generally. Okay, this sidebar is for the sidebar generally. It can be very applicable maybe for your blog post or this or the likes. Then we also have this sidebar for your shop page and this sidebar for course. All right, that is where we are going to be having all courses, latest course and image. And that is what is happening here because this is a course page. You can see we have all courses, latest courses, and then an image. So if you want to change this image, I mentioned it earlier, this is a custom kind of image for this theme we are using. So it's not advisable to leave it like this. So this is where you are going to do it. You come over to appearance and then you look for widgets. You see these sidebar courses under image. So you go ahead and upload your own image and then you put a link to, so that once they click on that image, where do you want it to take them to? And if you don't want it, you can see the option to delete there. Now, away from this, there are a whole lot of other options that you can also add to any of this, maybe the sidebar, the footer, or anything. Okay, so you can see we have calendar categories. We have all of these course progress, featured courses, recent courses. All right, you can see popular courses. If you want to add a MailChimp form, you can also do that. Product category, product search, tags. There are a lot of things here you can use. Okay, depending on what you want for your site. But again, if you need ideas for what to use, or you can just check out online course website to get ideas. You understand? Okay, and you can also do your research using AI to create some designs for you, so you can know what to get. Now, away from that, now for our footer, if you look at this footer, we are having text, and it is this short code that is there. Now, if I should come here, this theme Elementor, if I should click open, all templates, all right? And I've showed you what we have, where we have this footer. So you can see we have footer top. I don't think we use this footer top. You can see there's nothing on that footer top. We have footer itself and footer bottom. Now, if I show you you are currently on our website, and I've said this is our footer itself. If you want to have another footer on top of this, that's what we call the footer top. The footer bottom is this section here, all right? And these two design was created using this theme Elementor I showed you earlier while we were here. Now you can see this footer. This is the short code for it. Then the footer bottom, this is the short code for it. All right, so for you to place them in the right place, what you just need to copy their respective code. You come over to widget where you have footer. You just add text. So you look for text here. You can search for it, text. So just look for it because we have quite a number of options here. Okay, see, this is text here, and then you just add it to where you want to put it, footer. Once you click it, then you click add widget. So it will appear here. So once you click on it, you just put in this code, and then you're done. This is for footer. You copy the code for footer. That was how they did it. Then for footer bottom 2, you copy that of footer bottom. For footer bottom 2, this is it right here. Text, they copied it and put. So if you want to create something for footer top also, after you've done your design, you copy the code and then you bring in a text widget here and then you place it. All right. So, and for every other thing. So this is why I like to do my widgets option from here. So guys, that is it on widget. Before we start looking at how to set up payments, another one I want to share with you is this user. So this is where you're also going to create user for your website. Okay, so if you want to add user to your website, maybe as an admin now you want to give someone else access to manage your website, so you come over here and click on add user. Right, so what you basically need is to their username, their email. Those are the two required things, and the password. But all these other things are quite optional, but I'll advise you to put in all of those information, and then you assign them a role. All right, so the highest role here is the administrator. So if you make them an admin, that means they have equal right and access as you. Okay, so but there are other ones like editor, author, and contributor. All right, so once you are done, go ahead and click on add user. So the next thing I want to do now is to share with you how you can set up payments. Right now, I've mentioned it earlier that if you are to set up payments, you can do so from here. You come over to settings. That if you want to use PayPal, all right. So, but if you don't want to use the option of PayPal, all right. So you can see it once you come to LearnPress, you come to payments. All right. So there's an option for PayPal here. But if for any reason PayPal is not available to you, okay, then there's an option for WooCommerce payment. And I said earlier that there's a plugin you need to install under this Eduma that allows you to show up, that will show up this WooCommerce payment. Okay, but then if you want to use PayPal, you just need to enable this, put in your client ID and then your client secret key. Now, but let's do that of WooCommerce payment. So for that, we'll come over to WooCommerce and then we'll come over to settings. Okay, so under these settings, make sure you fill in this general option where you are going to have your address. Okay, your address, line 1, your city, your state, all this information. All right, including your currency. Okay, so because we want to be using WooCommerce payment, so it's important to fill in all of those. All right, additionally, you come to this site visibility. All right, our store is currently showing store is coming soon, store is coming soon. Just take it to live. All right, then go ahead and click on save changes. All right, so now let's come back to payments. All right, so now I click on payments. So this is where you're going to set up the payments that you want to use. Okay, for this now I want to use Stripe. So I want to set up Stripe. There are different payments gateway depending on your country of operation, your country of your targets. So we have Stripe, we have Square, we have Authorize, we have PayU and the likes. Okay, but I want to use Stripe, so I'll come over here and plugins, and there's a plugin I'm going to install. So I want to open that in a new tab, and the name of that plugin is Stripe Payments. Yeah. So this is it here, payments plugin for Stripe WooCommerce. So just go ahead and install this. This is the one that we're going to be using. Once that's been installed, just go ahead and activate. So now that has been activated, under WooCommerce, you're going to see it here, Stripe by Payments plugin. Okay, and it's going to have its own menu. So you come over to this settings page. So this is where you're going to set it up. All right, for this now is in test mode. If you want to go live so that it can be working, people can come on the website, make payment and the likes. So you switch it to live. All right, then you click here to connect. So you connect it to your Stripe account. Now either you have a Stripe account or you don't. Okay, I need to save. Okay, I'll still come back to it. Then let me see, I've saved. All right, so you come here and click to connect. I've saved already. Okay, sometimes it does this. So then you click on this click to connect, you'll be redirected to Stripe. So if you have a Stripe account, so right here you'll be asked to enter your Stripe email address. So either you have Stripe account or you don't have, just go ahead and put it. Now if you are creating a Stripe account for the first time, once you are done with this process, so do make sure you log into the Stripe account and fill in all the necessary information. All right, it's a pretty much simple process, so I won't be going beyond this. All right, so let me just come back. So once it is connected, you see it here to let you know that it's already connected, and some information will show up here. All right, So once that is done, under advanced setting, there's pretty much nothing much to do. Okay, so once you have been able to connect it, still under WooCommerce, you come to settings. Okay, then you come over to payments. All right, since we've installed the plugin, now you'll see that we have a whole lot of options here that we can integrate with Stripe to make payments. One of which is credit card. You can see the credit card option. It is enabled. You can see that's active. All right, it's already active. So payments can be made using credit card. If you want to enable these other options, okay, so it all depends on you. So with that, that is how to set up payment. Now what we want to do next is to test our website on a different uh, browser or different accounts to see how it works. All right, so there's one other thing. I didn't edit my profile. It's showing my email here. I don't want it to be showing email. So once you click on it, or you can just come over to users and then you click on edit profile. All right, so this is where you can select your screen color, your administration screen color. That's this color from the back end. So you can choose from any of these color. I'm always okay with default, so I'll leave it as default. Then if you want to change, put in your first name and your last name. So for this now, just use PA Academy. All right, so once I do that, if you should come to display name publicly as, so you're going to see the option of PA Academy. You can see it has changed right here. All right, and then you can put a biographical info. You can put in your profile picture if you want to change your password, or if you want to log in from everywhere else, you can do so from here. So once you are done, then you just go ahead and update your profile. Okay, so with that being done, now let me open this website in let me just refresh so you can see that we are live. All right, so let me just open. Now there's an option to register, so let me just create an account here. So if you click on register, you can see it asks me to put in a username. All right, so let me use this email address. Let me put in a username. Let me just use Prosper, and then let me put in a password, and then I can easily sign up. All right, so you can see now I've been able to create an account, and you can see this has changed to profile and then log out. Now you'll notice that it's not giving me this top options that I'm seeing when I'm logging from here. Like you can see all of this. That's because over here I'm logged in as a subscriber, not as an admin. Okay, so if I click on profile now, okay, so you can see, so this is where I can just go. If I click on this edit button now, I can go ahead and under general, I should put in my name, my display name, graphical info, put in my profile picture. It will make a whole lot of sense. All right, so the avatar, the cover image, and then the password. All right, so if I should come over to courses, okay, so let's say this course that we just created now. So you can see if I want to take this course, I can just select it. So you can see right here, I can just look at start now. You can see congratulations, you were enrolled. So you can see this is each of those courses that we added, the lessons rather, and the under curriculum and the likes. So this is it. This is the course content. This is what we just use as course content. So let's say I'm through with it. I can just click on complete. Do you want to complete the lesson? Yes. All right. So the next is assessment. You can see. All right. So I want to start. Remember, we set it to 2 minutes and it's just one question. So I click on start. And then you can see my timer is already reading. And this is the question. Remember, it was a true or false question we selected. So the unit of resistor is volts. The answer is false. Okay, and I click on finish quiz because it's just one question. So I click on finish quiz. Are you sure you want to submit? Okay. Right, and it's showing that I got it 100%, and 80% is the pass mark. All right, and then review. So I can review the question. So once this is done, you can see there's an option to finish course here. Do you want to finish the course? Yeah. So I'm done with the course. Okay. So now that I'm done with the course, you can see my certificate has been presented. All right. You can see I can go ahead to download it. There's a download button right here. All right. You can see just the same way we arranged it earlier. You can see the dates the start date. You can see the course title. My name has appeared here. You understand when we are creating the certificate. Okay. Now there's something I just remember that I didn't share when we were creating certificates. So I can just go ahead and download the certificate. You can see download. So you can see certificates download, and that is how to go about it. Now there's something I did show. You can also set the certificate to be paid such that the course can be free and certificate can be paid. All right, so there's an option there under certificates. I think I skipped that. Okay, so with that, guys, you have finished this course. The course has been blocked. Okay, that you can see. I think this was one of the options we selected, that once they are done with the course, the course will be blocked. Okay, so if you also want to pick up a paid course also, it's just the same process. So again, to test the payment system that we've set up, so I've gone ahead to set up this course that we created earlier to a paid course of $20. All right. So while you are trying to test this, I noticed something that there's a page that we didn't create, which is the cards page. All right. So I'm going to go back to the main website now. Although I've gone ahead to create it, but let me show you. You can see this is it, the cards page. We didn't create it earlier. So what I did was, this was very simple. I click on add page. So after that, so right here you put in the title, so you call it the cards because that's what the page is meant for. Then you paste this short code. I hope I still have it on my clipboard. All right, so this is the short code here. So this is a page that is created using short code. All right, it's in square brackets. Then you just paste this code, and that is it. And then you publish. Okay, so that is how you create your cards page. Now, once you have done that, then you come over to, from your dashboard, you come over to this page here. And how do you get there? From your dashboard, you see this WooCommerce, you come over to settings, and once you're on settings, you locate this advanced. All right, remember this was where we did payment. So under this advanced, you come over to where you have cards page, you click here, and then you just type in the name of the page, cards, like, you know, CA, like you enter the first 3 characters, and to show you the list of pages having that word, you can see it here, cards. You select it. You do the same thing for checkout page. You select your checkout page, my account page, then the terms and condition page. All right, so once you do this, do make sure you save. All right, so I'm gonna need to do it to save, and then you'll be able to proceed with purchasing course, especially the paid course. All right, so I've done that. So with that now, I've added it to my carts. So if I go ahead and view carts, all right, so you can see now we have our our carts page. If you want to use coupon code also, you have to create a coupon code, and to do that is under WooCommerce. You see coupons here, right here. Okay, so this is where you are going to create a coupon code. And the reason why we are using the WooCommerce is because we are using WooCommerce payments, and then you come over here and click on add coupon. So that is for coupon. And then let's continue here. So I can go ahead and click on checkout. So proceed to checkout. Now, if you do not do this, settings right here, I hope it seems I've closed the page. Now, if you do not do that of those pages I showed you earlier, this, even for the checkout page will not be accessible. Okay, so you need to take note of that. So once you click on proceed to checkout, then you'll be able to, you can see contact information, put in your billing address. All right, so the reason why this is showing there's no payment is because I didn't link my Stripe, okay, under payments. All right, so I didn't link that. So you just go ahead and link yours, right, under, you did this part of the payments, okay, under this Stripe here. So once you link your payment, or maybe if you are using PayPal, all right, and then you link it, okay, you'll be able to do. You can say I didn't connect my Stripe. I don't want to connect it. I've connected too many Stripe accounts. So many accounts to it in the course of creating this tutorial. All right. So once you do that, you'll be able to place order, and everything will just work the way it should be. All right. So with that, we are gradually rounding up with this video. I've covered everything that you need to know with respect to creating your online course website. Okay, you see this part which shows become an instructor. Basically, the idea behind this particular video is to create a single instructor kind of online course website whereby you are the only one, no other person can bring in their course. But if you are creating a website where you want other people to be able to also bring in their course, that's where this comes handy. You know, I'm currently logged in now. I can apply to become an instructor. You can see my name is there, my phone number, my email, phone number. I just need to write a message and submit. Okay, so once I do this, the admin will receive a notification that somebody wants to become an instructor. Then you as an admin under user, so you'll see pending request. Okay, and what's that pending request to become an instructor? So you can see the admin will either accept or deny your request. So that is how that part works. Okay, I also have another video that talks about this and a whole lot of other things. That is if you are creating an online course website where you want other people to be able to also come and sell their course, and they're going to get commission and some other added feature. All right, so before we round up totally, if you need images for your website, there are 3 web platforms that comes as recommendable. I do recommend Pixel, Pixabay, and Splash. However, when you are looking at them, also pay attention to the fact that you are selecting the free images. So I said I'm going to be leaving the link in the description. If you want to get your hosting and domain name for 75% discounts, 75 to 85% discounts, I'll leave a link to it, and you have plus the free domain. So do check that out. I'm also going to be leaving the link to some of those short codes, so you can also check them out. All right. So guys, I hope you find value. I'm also going to be leaving the timestamp. So if there's any part of this video that you want to watch again, you'll find the timestamp in the description of this video so that you can just jumpstart to that particular section instead of watching it all over and over again. If there's any parts that you are not too clear, if you have any question or any doubt, do let me know in the comment section below. So guys, thank you very much for watching. My name is Prosper. And then with that, guys, I'll see you all in another video. Bye for now.